the frying pan and into the fire. The iron skillet on the line today in Fort Worth. Two schools separated by just 40 miles. Meeting on the gridiron for the 102nd time. It is the SMU Mustangs taking on the TCU Horned Frogs. So glad you have found us. With my partner, Devin Gardner, I am Eric Collins. I'm not breaking any news here. Football is a big deal in the state of Texas, and this rivalry game is a big deal. Devin, they've been playing for the Iron Skillet since 1915. We got two teams at 2-1 so far in the year. Let's start with SMU. Coming off a huge win a week ago, Preston Stone was massive.
Yeah, absolutely. They are really excited about Preston Stone, but they really didn't know at the beginning of the season what they would have in him because he had to sit behind that veteran, Tanner Mordecai, for 2 seasons. But just 3 weeks into the season, they're very impressed. Offensive coordinator Casey Woods loves what he sees from this guy, his poise, his ability to make plays off schedule. I'm just telling you, he could have a really big day. The one thing he has to worry about, him and that offensive line, who have only allowed 1 sack, they have their biggest test of the season with TCU rolling in with that daunting rush defense.
Yeah, TCU, they are 2-1 on the season. Their only loss, of course, coming back in week 1. That was the story of college football. They lost against Colorado. They've since rebounded, won a couple of games in a row, and they really like their quarterback.
Yeah, I think that Chandler Morris is a guy who has real talent. Now, his career's been a bit of an odyssey, right? You go to OU, and then you go to TCU, and you win the job. And then you get hurt, and you have to watch someone else take your team to the national championship. Now, a lot of pressure coming into that next season when you are the guy is on your shoulders. He pressed a little bit in week 1, but they feel like he's really gotten a handle on the offense and that he's really settled down. And under new coordinator Kendall Briles, he thinks this offense is ready to really hit their stride.
Let's do it. College football, Texas style. If there's a skillet involved, you know it's going to be hot. It's SMU. It's TCU. Our kickoff is next. Let's do it. Amon G. Carter Stadium, Fort Worth, Texas. It is the 102nd meeting between the SMU Mustangs and the TCU Horned Frogs. And that, folks, may not look like much, but that's what's on the line. Yeah, the iron skillet.
They've got to oil that thing up, man. My cast iron skillet makes sure you nice and oil it up after you use it so it doesn't get all rusty. Take care of it.
Yeah, you got to dry it, put some oil on it.
Yeah.
You want that thing. You want to keep it. They've been playing for this, well, they really started the Iron Skillet in 1946, but this rivalry started in 1915. This is the 102nd meeting. There's only been 8 years where they did not play. As of late, the Horned Frogs, well, 18 of the last 22 meetings they have won. We should mention the last 2 times that SMU won, Sonny Dykes was the head coach of SMU, beating Texas Christian, TCU, the team that he's representing right now. So, a little bit of history there. And we're going to have TCU kicking it off. Keyshawn Smith is back deep for SMU to receive our kickoff. And we will have a touchback. All right, so let's talk about the SMU Mustangs. Currently 2-1 on the year. Their quarterback is Preston Stone, fresh off a 6-touchdown week against Prairie View A&M a week ago. This is his offensive line in front of him. News to tell you about the right guard, not Justin Osborne. Ben Sparks replaces him. And news to tell you about their skill position-wise. Kamar Wheaton will start. L.J. Johnson has started. He is banged up right now.
They're very excited to get this Alabama transfer, but the engine that makes this offense go is the quarterback. Now, they want to have more balance in the run and pass game, but here on this first down play, they're going to try to spread this TCU defense out and get the ball in the air.
First play from scrimmage, Stone. Tons of time. And he makes something out of nothing, picks up 4, maybe 5. So positive yards on first down. Defensively, story to tell you about for TCU. There's the front 3. But we've got a change at the will linebacker. Johnny Hodges is not going to play. He's got a hand injury. He's out indefinitely. So Shad Banks is getting the start, just his 3rd start as a college player. Now, he's a great player, but no Johnny Hodges is a significant turn of events for TCU.
And the one thing that we talked about with the coaching staff of SMU is nobody's really tried to run at this TCU defense. They said they are going to try to run right at this TCU defense in the run game, and being without Johnny Hodges, let's see if it can work.
Second straight run for Wheaton. Nandi Obiazor with the tackle, gain of 2. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8. TCU a week ago, they defeated Houston 36-13, did not allow an offensive touchdown.
It's a good look at Shad Banks Jr. Big fellow.
6'1", 250 from Houston. Started 2 games last year, Texas and the Big 12 championship game. 2nd down and 8. Stone, again, tons of time. Out in the flat, Romello Brinson, the freshman, got whacked. Bud Clark put the wood on him.
And that's a nice hit and a nice play by TCU's defense, but SMU is exactly where they want to be, completely on schedule. You can see the quarterback with great poise. Preston Stone, when he gets on the edge, look, see what he sees, and then checks the ball down to set up this 3rd and 3.
And they run it. Wheaton's got the 1st down. When you feel comfortable running for 3 yards on 3rd down, you got something.
Yeah, with TCU, they only have 5 guys in the box. You just don't have enough, and you just outnumber them. Very nice job of getting to this run play and featuring this running back who was originally at Alabama and one of the 5-star recruits in a class a few seasons ago. Now he gets the ball, runs vertical. This TCU defense has not seen a team really try to attack them in the run game, and SMU is doing that here to start this game.
New left tackle in the game for SMU. P.J. Williams comes on. Marcus Bryant lost his helmet. And they go the other side to the right side with the new left tackle in the game for a pickup of 2.
That's something that can be there all game because of the tight 5 techniques that they use on the defensive line with that 3-man front. Their edge players are really going to have to come up and play fast out of the alley if you're TCU's defense.
Red Lashley gets Marcus Bryant back in at left tackle. Jalen Knighton is in the backfield next to Stone. They fake it to Knighton. Quick slant, caught, still on his feet, Jordan Hudson. And the former TCU Horned Frog haunts his former school. 21 yards for Hudson.
It's a nice job by Preston Stone, seeing the blitz and attacking the blitz. He sees the linebacker, outside linebacker come, then show, he puts the ball right behind his ear.
Impressive opening drive for SMU. Play action, Stone, little dump out, and trying to get it to his tight end, R.J. Maryland. Well, the pass was tipped here just a little bit short. 2nd down.
Yeah, they got exactly what they wanted, getting Stone on the edge and sneaking R.J. Maryland into the flat, and the ball is just a bad throw there. I don't think it was tipped there.
Knighton remains in the backfield. Remember, no Johnny Hodges, out indefinitely with a hand injury. Shad Banks replacing him at the will linebacker spot. Stone underneath. Not much there at all. Catch is made by Moochie Dixon. First grab for Dixon.
This SMU offensive line has played well all season, only allowing 1 sack, and that 1 sack was a run out of bounds by the quarterback, and they did not let us forget. But for TCU, you're going to have to try to manufacture pressure. Just a 3-man rush is not something that's going to rattle Preston Stone. He's able to sit back there all day, and if you give him that much time, he's going to pick you apart.
10th play of the drive.
There's not a lot of guys in the box. You can run the ball here.
They choose to pass just a 3-man rush, and they're not getting home. Look at all this time for Stone. Can he get there? He does. It's a 1st down.
So the initial call was not a run call, but eventually it gets to that. If you just, they've got 3 guys in the box, and then they're dropping their linebackers out. Those 3 defensive linemen are the only guys that are there to stop the run game, and obviously the quarterback run is going to be a big issue for them if they cannot create some more pressure with their front 7.
So SMU firmly in that red zone, trying to cash it in with 6. Knighton in the backfield next to Stone. They flip it to Knighton, and again, it's a bounce pass. He didn't catch that. I thought that was off the shoe tops. The whistle didn't blow late. We're going to have to review that as of now, it's a 10-yard gain, but Devin, I thought that ball bounced.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it did, but I love that you continue to play through it. It definitely bounced, as you can see there. But I love play through the whistle if you don't hear one. Oh, yeah, definitely. They're going to have to take a look at that. It definitely bounced off the ground.
The ruling on the field of a completed catch. It's under further review.
Oh, and Rhett Lashley is upset. He wanted his team to go faster.
Yeah.
He wanted that 10-yard gain.
You've got to speed up. And I think that's on Wheaton, right? You got to make sure. Hey, get the guys going. You see there.
You can see the dirt bounce up.
Clear bounce. And that's actually Jalen Knighton, the running back there, trying to make that catch and get that ball off the ground. But it's clearly, you know, in Texas, you got a lot of dust in the grass. You can see the dust pop up. Usually it's turf bubbles, right? You got the turf all around the country. You can see the dust bounce. This should be a fairly quick review. The one thing they have to make sure where the ball was and the time and all those different things.
It looked almost as if Knighton kind of knew that he caught it on the bounce, and he slowed immediately before saying, hey, maybe I can get away with it.
He said, wait a minute. You guys didn't see that?
After further review, this is an incomplete pass. Second down.
Wearing the white hat, our referee is Nate Black this afternoon.
SMU almost got away with one there. They got to be ready. With NASCAR, move faster.
Here's our team comparison, sponsored by T-Mobile. It's better over here. SMU, we mentioned, only one sack allowed, and even that was dubious. Now, TCU's defense, they have sacked the quarterback 13 times, which is 5th best in FBS.
Yeah, this is kind of the matchup I talked about in the open, where you got strength on strength.
Yep.
The offensive line of SMU and the pass rush defense of TCU getting after the quarterback. But to this point, I think the edge goes to SMU in that offensive line.
Now, today it's not strength versus strength. It's iron versus iron. We got the iron skillet on the line. All right, getting ready for a 2nd down and 10. Ball's on the 14. Stone has a couple of incompletions. Both his incompletions were passes that were short at the feet of his receivers. Tyler Levine is in the game in the backfield, and he's going to serve as a blocker for Stone. Look at the wiggle. Oh, Preston Stone. Looked like he was going right. He goes left, and he picks up 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're outnumbered when you add in the quarterback run, right? So you use a blocker as the running back, and so the +1 is the quarterback. Preston Stone does a nice job getting outside in the outside zone.
Stone again, keeper caught from behind. Nnamdi Obiaizor, a loss of 1.
The play is made by Josh Newton on the outside, the cornerback, number 2. He turns so fast, and so you can't throw that ball out there. Now Stone has to hold it, and it just takes too long. Nice job by Nnamdi.
So it's 4th down, and they're going to go for it. The offense remains on the field. Last year they had some success on 4th down, and this time they want to talk about it a little longer.
SMU.
So SMU calls the timeout. Devin, your thoughts on going for it 4th down and 3 when it would be a chip shot field goal?
For me, I would take the points, but I can completely understand why SMU is trying this, and we'll see on the other side, is it a smart decision or not?
Welcome back, everyone. The decision has been made by Rhett Lashley, and they are no longer going to go for it on 4th down. Instead, they will bring on the kicking team. Colin Rogers will attempt a short field goal, maybe try and get his confidence back. Colin Rogers on the year just 2 for 5 field goal attempts. Career-wise, he has been exceptional, though.
Yeah, I think this is the right decision.
The holder, Ryan Buchevsky, the punter. And Rogers splits the uprights. So first blood drawn by SMU. They lead 3-0 over TCU. Horned Frogs, less football when we come back to Fort Worth. Welcome back, everyone. Fort Worth, Texas, playing for the Iron Skillet. So far, so good for SMU. They lead TCU 3-0. But the Horned Frogs, They're going to get the football for the first time. Colin Rogers will kick it to them. Major Everhart is back deep to receive this kick for TCU. Returnable. All right, let's do it from the 2. Everhart bangs out to the 25. All right, so let's talk a little bit TCU Horned Frog offense. Guys up front. Andrew Coker making start number 39. Imani Bailey has had a great year among the leaders in the country in rushing yards. Savion Williams, big tight end they like, Jared Wiley, 6'7", and then of course you got the quarterback Chandler Morris.
Yeah, when we talked to offensive coordinator Kendall Briles yesterday, he talked about Chandler Morris is a big part of the reason why he decided to come and how comfortable head coach Sonny Dykes was with Chandler Morris, his skill set, and what he's capable of doing.
Little reverse right out of the chute. I love it. Robinson is caught from behind after a gain of just 2 or 3. Brandon Crosley didn't know if he was going to play or not, but first play from scrimmage defensively, he makes his presence felt.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a guy that they did not want to have to miss, and it's good to see him out there able to run around and make plays.
Look how quickly TCU is going on offense. This is Bailey with his first touch. Out to the 31. Look who's making the tackle. It's Brandon Crosley.
Yeah, I mean, he's important to this defense and what they want to do. But Imani Bailey, number 9 in the black jersey, you have to know he had an ankle last week, the coaching staff said, and he said they didn't see it. I mean, he was so explosive, and you can see today he's kind of moving on that same track.
Underneath, Morris finds his big tight end. Devin, that's what you do when you got a tight end who's 6'7", 260.
And big is an understatement. This is a quarterback's best friend. You're going to see him right on the left side of your screen. Come and just set up right in front of the quarterback. Look at that target. I mean, if you can't hit that, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Play action. Morris under duress. Goes down. Brought down by Isaiah Wacobia.
Looked like a lot of confusion. It looked like offensive linemen were out trying to block for a screen, and they didn't have anybody set up for a screen, and Morris is kind of stuck with the ball and trying to create something and minimize the damage.
Second down, now playing from behind the chains. It's 2nd and 12. They fake it to Bailey, quarterback keeper. Morris can scoot, gets out across the 40. Has his legs taken out by Nelson Paul. All right, defensively, a couple of Elijahs up front. Elijah Roberts, Elijah Chapman. Chapman's an athletic freak. Kobe Wilson, one of the linebackers. We just mentioned Wacobia. And Crosley, good to have him back. Didn't play last week against Prairie View A&M. Out in space. That's the tight end Wiley again.
That's a big boy. I'm just telling you, he's 3 or 4 yards away from the first down marker, but he gets hit and he starts to reach out and it looks like he got it.
So it's first down and 10.
Look, all the normal humans, they wouldn't have gotten that first down. Nice job getting the ball out quickly for Morris.
Now Wiley's out of the game. Morris keeping the play alive. Catch is made. That's Blake Knoll. Blake Knoll hasn't played much so far this year, but he's getting a little bit of playing time right now, and he makes the catch. Nice
job by Nolan to scramble. He had kind of a stutter curl route, and then he sees his quarterback getting outside, and he just moves with him.
Bailey right up the gut. Crosley and others with the tackle. DeVere Levelston levels him. No gain. TCU won last year, game in Dallas, 42-34 the final score. It was played September 24th, so similar time during the season a year ago. Cameron Robertson just blows that one up, and it's going to force a 4th down.
It's an outstanding job by Robertson. Just gives a quick swim move, knowing that he's giving up some pounds, right? He's only 237 pounds. He goes swim move, the offensive tackle completely whips, and he's in the backfield immediately.
So TCU, they barely crossed midfield, and now we're going to have to give it up. The punt team comes on. Jordy Sandy to punt the football away. The ball bounces at the 5, and it's going to roll to a stop at the 2. That's how you do it, Jordy Sandy. It's like he had a sand wedge, did Sandy. Just dies on the 2-yard line. Back in a moment. Yeah, today on Fox, we've got a Pac-12 triple header. UCLA faces Utah 3:30. Then Oregon State takes on Washington State, followed by Caleb Williams, leading 5th-ranked USC against Arizona State.
There's going to be some good quarterback play there. You got Dante Moore. Cam Rising is supposed to come back for Utah, make his debut for the season. Cam Ward, Washington State. Bo Nix at Oregon. My goodness.
Good God. SMU, their second possession, and this one starts at the 2. Good luck. Kamar Wheaton barrels out to the 5. Shad Banks on the tackle. Banks getting the start. No Johnny Rodgers. Rodgers, a hand injury, out indefinitely. Remember, it was Hodges, after week 1, called his defense a laughingstock for the performance against Colorado. He's big-time leader on that defense. He'll be missed. Another carry by Wheaton. And he's going to make it 3rd down and 1. Wheaton, the sophomore from Garland, Texas, home of Mookie Blaylock. Started his college experience at Alabama. Brett Lashley has a lot of talented skill position players. No doubt about that.
They got 6 for 6 in the box. And with this player removed, I think they can run this football and pick up the 1st down.
Looks like they're going to pass. Stone! That's why he's only been sacked once this year. Just threw it away. Discretion, the better part of valor. And it's going to be a 3 and out.
You've got 5 offensive line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 7 guys against only 1, 2, 3, 4 guys on defense. You have to run the ball there to go get 1 yard. They try to get a little cute there and have to end up throwing the ball away and punt it away. They missed a big opportunity to run at that TCU defense.
Good stuff, Devin. Like the math. Even I can understand that math.
Yeah, that's simple math. I can do that one.
Yeah. So punting it out of the end zone. Ryan Buchevsky. And a whistle.
Second charge timeout.
SMU just has to call a timeout. That's the second time they've called a timeout, and we haven't even played 12 full minutes yet. This is a shorty. We'll keep it here. Now, this is an interesting one for Rhett Lashley. Last week, Prairie View A&M, it was an over contest, 69 rip. The week before, obviously they got bruised up a little bit. They played competitively at Oklahoma. Didn't get the result they wanted. They beat La Tech right out of the chute, first game of the year. But Lashley's got a good finger on the pulse of his team. He understands what they need, and he feels they're ready for today's game against TCU. And he wasn't shying away from the fact that this game means a whole bunch to him and his team. The battle for the Metroplex. Sonny Dykes knows it well. Of course, he was SMU's head coach for 4 years. Punt goes out of bounds right at midfield. Actually never even got there. And it's going to be really good starting field position for the TCU Horned Frogs. Their second offensive possession when we come back.
Welcome back. SMU just had to punt the ball away, but they shouldn't have had to when you only got 4 guys in the box. And then when you go to pass, you got drop 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then Shad Banks is going to add in as a, what we call a green dog guy, right? So he's not a blitzer truly. He's a green dog guy. He's in pass coverage. He sees green grass, and then he goes. If you're not going to take advantage of the little numbers in the box in the run game, you cannot drop back and pass because you're going to leave your quarterback vacant to things like that. Shad Banks is a guy that's replacing a veteran, but they love that he was the luxury that they had to replace their Johnny Hodges because he's played a lot of football. He's played at every position, and they can trust him in those green dog situations to come out of pass coverage and rush the quarterback late.
Green dog. I never knew what a green dog was. Now I do. Thank you.
And at Boise, it'd be blue dog.
Morris wants to throw on first down. Got hit. Passes a little bit high. Looking for Jalen Robinson.
Yeah, they went to that naked bootleg, and the pass was a little bit high, but that has to be a play that's made. A nice job by Morris getting on the edge. He's getting hit while he's throwing the ball. That ball has to be caught. You get two hands on it, you got to make that play.
Jared Wiley, the tight end, is split out. Now he goes in motion. And what a tackle made. How about that? Good thing that Brandon Crosley is back on the field. He has been everywhere. That's his second tackle for loss here in the first quarter.
I mean, they're doing an outstanding job of protecting the line of scrimmage and freeing up their linebackers and safeties to run through the line of scrimmage and make plays.
3rd and 14. Oh, they get it. Beautifully timed. It's Robinson with the catch right at the sticks. Needed 14, they got 14.
Robinson is their guy. He played 70 snaps a week ago. They said that was way too much, so they have to find out when is he going to play, and this is a nice job by Imani Bailey.
Some Zuzu going through that hole. Best run of the day for Imani Bailey. Gain of 11.
Little dead leg, stick that left foot in the ground, jump cut to the right. Gain of 11.
They give it to Bailey again, and it's another tackle for loss. Elijah Chapman, graduate student, captain, athletic freak. Loss of 3.
They just turn him loose on the backside. Chapman's going to come right here and follow those pulling offensive linemen, right? Get in the hip pocket of those offensive linemen. It'll take you right to the ball. He's there to make a tackle for loss.
Second time TCU's gone backwards on this drive. Hard to make a living doing that. And a whistle, and oh my goodness. Is that SMU?
Third charge timeout.
3 timeouts in the first quarter for SMU. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
That's odd.
3 timeouts, 13 minutes into our game. All right, we're going to keep it here and talk a little bit about Sonny Dykes. Of course, Sonny Dykes, SMU, 4 years. Introduced head coach in 2017. Started slow, finished fast.
He picked it up.
Won against SMU. Won against TCU twice, of course, the COVID year of 2020. And then 2021, his final year at SMU before, of course, taking over the TCU job a year ago and going to the national championship game last year.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people at SMU were obviously not happy with him leaving, but he proved that he made the right decision. He went to TCU and turned that program completely around, going all the way to the national championship.
You wonder now, with SMU heading to the ACC next year.
Yeah, and now it looks like
we made.
Yeah, it looks like a lateral move almost now when you think about it in hindsight.
Yeah, a lot of excitement in the Dallas area with the whole announcement of joining the ACC. Wow. 2nd and 13, incomplete. That would have been a tremendous catch by Trent Battle. Just couldn't hang on.
I mean, an outstanding design, sending the running back up the seam, and he just isn't able to make the catch. So close.
So it's 3rd down and 13. They've already converted a 3rd and 14 on this drive. SMU with pressure. Morris is passed underneath, trying to make a move. This is Earl, and he's just a little bit short of the line to gain.
Yeah, Morris wants to go for it, and they're going to go fast here. But JoJo Earl, you saw the quickness and swiftness of feet that he has to make guys miss in the open field.
4th down and 1. Morris by himself in the backfield.
Uncovered to start this play.
That's J.P. Richardson.
First charge timeout. TCU. 30 seconds.
All right, so a 30-second timeout for TCU. Now, Devin, something that's been an issue for TCU has been their red zone situation this year.
Of course, in 8 touchdowns and 14 drives, that looks really good. But then when you add in the 4 turnovers, right, you're giving points away at that point, and that's something they really want to clean up. And 2 of them came when they played in that first game against Colorado. So that's one thing that they've worked on, and they feel like they can get this first down here. What I would love to see here is quarterback power, right, or quarterback draw, right, but a fake of it, right? So the play action with the quarterback and then dump that tight end dump right down the field to one of your wide receivers. I think that play will really attract the defense in, suck those linebackers down, and then throw the ball over the top. But they are going under center here.
Bailey in the backfield. And it's an inside handoff to Richardson, who's got the first down. You don't give it to your stud runner, Imani Bailey. Instead, you give it to the receiver, J.P. Richardson.
And I love the design. It's a little cute there, right? It got really, really close. Nice job by Richardson, making sure he gets that first down. They give him the kind of inside handoff, and it goes to a speed option. I love the design. Nice job by Richardson.
Richardson, the transfer from Oklahoma State, comes from a big-time football family. Bailey probing inside the 10. And we've made it to the 32nd mark of our first quarter. Let's see if TCU wants to continue to play fast. They do. Richardson and Bailey in the backfield. Morris to the end zone. Touchdown! TCU on the board. It's the big man, Jared Wiley.
He's their red zone weapon. And at 6'7", you have a guy where he finesse, and then he goes right inside. Very nice job of starting off to look like you're start blocking, and then slip inside for a touchdown. Usually he likes to use his size, right? Throw it up high. But there, he just used his finesse, gets inside, throw the ball right on his chest for a touchdown. Nice job by Morris.
You could call it a Wiley maneuver. 10 plays, 46 yards. They had a 3rd and 14. They converted it. They had a 3rd and 13, which they eventually converted on 4th down. And TCU leads for the first time 7-3 over SMU.
It's a nice response by Morris in this offense, driving all the way down. And we've seen this the last couple weeks. This offense is really starting to hit its stride and get in a groove. And it starts with Chandler Morris making sound decisions. And that's a good start after we just talked about 4 turnovers in the red zone this season. That's a good start. Going for a first on 4th down and then finding a way to get in the end zone.
And that almost validates the decision to punt by TCU the first time they had the ball. Remember, they crossed midfield, they punted, they pinned SMU at the 2-yard line. They forced a 3 and out. They got great field position and they cashed in.
Absolutely.
Keyshawn Smith back deep to receive this kickoff. Final moments of our first quarter.
For SMU, you've got a chance to see what TCU's defense is going to try to do to you. They're staying true to themselves. They're having low numbers in the box and dropping a lot of guys in pass coverage. You have to try to attack this defense on the ground.
Griffin Kell kicks it away. Spinning kick through the back of the end zone.
Flag that early. It's usually like offsides or something like that.
It's hard to make a mistake on a ball that goes to the back of the end zone. This is our first penalty. Haven't seen much of Mr. Black.
Looks like he signaled a holding. Ooh, that's tough, especially on the ball that goes out of the end zone.
Illegal numbering. Receiving team. 2 players wearing the number 13. Both participating during the down. The penalties decline. First down.
Illegal numbering. That's once a year. You hear that?
Yeah, you're obviously not allowed to have 2 guys on the field at the same time. And so you see what a lot of teams do is they put a guy with just a different jersey, right? You check in with the ref, hey, I'm wearing this oversized jersey as a different number, so that you don't, because you get that on special teams where offense and defense kind of mixes.
So it turns out 2 guys wearing number 13 was unlucky. It was Roderick Daniels Jr. and Jalen Davis Robinson, both wearing 13. Truskadicophobia. All right, so 16 seconds remaining here in our first quarter. Stone gets it out in space. This is Knighton. And it's a good gain on first down, gain of 8. And that'll be our final play of the first quarter. SMU scored first. 3 points opening drive of the game. TCU scored most recently. Game's only touchdown. 7-3. TCU leads SMU.
We coming strong. We in the zone. Woo! Let's go. Game on.
Iron skill on the line. TCU leads SMU 7-3, beginning of our second quarter. Now let's take a look at Chasing the Rings, sponsored by K. Celebrate every moment with K. And how about this? Did you know? State of Texas wins a lot of them since 2017 for TCU. Most of anyone in the state of Texas. Pretty cool.
Very impressive.
They like their football in Texas. I think you've heard that before. Jalen Knighton with the carry. Perry and Obiizor with the tackle. Third possession for SMU. Gain of 4. First down and 10. Again, not much pass rush at all. Stone lobs it down the right side. Incomplete. A lot of contact, but no flag. That was Shad Banks.
Yeah.
250-pound human on the coverage.
Yeah, they said he ran 22 miles per hour, and Eric, he usually returns kicks, but now he's a starter today, so he's not doing it, and there's a flag on the play.
And that was a receiver downfield. Offense. Number 82 was on the line of scrimmage. Covered by another receiver. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Procedural mistake by the tight end, Russell Maryland Jr.
If your tight end lined up on the line of scrimmage, the outside receiver has to check with the ref and let him know, hey, I'm off the ball, so that Ryland can be a guy, RJ Maryland can be a guy that goes down the field.
So it cost him 5 yards. Knighton's got it. Full head of steam. Knighton tackled at the midfield line, but that's a big-time gain. 18 yards. Mark Perry may have saved a touchdown.
Take a look at number 51 right here. He is going to chase down these linebackers to make sure that he clears out. Boom, there it is right there. And he creates this huge hole for Knighton to get through.
That was Justin Osborne, who we didn't know whether or not he was going to play. He's considered their best offensive lineman, but he got banged up against Oklahoma. It's good to see him out there making a difference.
I mean, that's an outstanding job. The backside guard trying to run over the top of the defense to get to those backside linebackers, push them across, and allow Knighton to cut underneath.
Look at how lily white those uniforms are for the offensive linemen. Tells you something, right? They're moving forward, not backwards. Second down at 6. Wheaton's got it. Wheaton's got a big run down to the 35. Gain of 11.
Take a look again. He's the reason. He's down the field. Kick out right there, and now underneath. No matter who the running back is, Knighton, Wheaton, doesn't matter. Get behind big 51, Justin Osborne.
Wheaton. Short gain there. Tackle made by Mark Perry.
I mean, that's an outstanding job by Osborne. Those cutoff blocks and the ability to get to the second level and cut guys off from the other side. And you see Osborne getting himself a well-deserved drink of water jogging off the field there. I mean, that is tough for a big guy to run that far to cut off. And he's giving it everything he's got because he can't be late. If he's late, the blocks can't be set up. Nice job by Osborne. Get you a drink, big fella.
The pride of Flower Mound, Texas. Second down at 7. Ben Sparks replaces Osborne at the guard spot. Stone. Catch is made, but the receiver had to come back from the line to gain. That's Moochie Dixon. Your coach do that, right? Come back to the ball, but that cost him a first down.
Yeah, absolutely. For Stone, he looked to the left side first, right? So when you look to the left side first, you're coming back to the right late. He had it right away, but he didn't look there first. So that's a nice job by Moochie Dixon, making sure he works back to the quarterback and still sets up a third and extremely manageable.
Third down at 2 after the 5-yard completion. Wheaton's in the backfield next to Stone. Maryland's the tight end in motion.
All right, they got those guys back in the box.
Oh, he stumbled. The turf monster got him. Wheaton tripped on his own shoelaces. So it's fourth down.
Yeah, he saw the cutback lane, right? He wanted to get the ball and go back here, but he just can't get his feet together, and he falls down. That could have been a huge play.
So fourth down at 2. The offense remains on the field for SMU. This worked for TCU a moment ago. Going forward on fourth down.
I think they can outflank the defense right away with this bubble screen.
Nope, they choose power. Knight, no chance. He goes down. Jamoy Hodge.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now they have the guys in the box. You just don't have the numbers to run the ball here, especially on a critical 4th down. They get right through and make the play. Nice job by Jamoy Hodge.
So SMU, they turn it over on downs. TCU ball when we come back. SMU should have known better. This TCU defense is tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And on 4th down, they're top 15 in the country. We just saw that, and now that number might go up. They were 2 of 8 coming into this game. Now that makes them 3 of 9, 33%, not 25.
Something you brought up that I want to get back to after this play that I think is really significant about what we just saw. Chandler Morris on 1st down, wants a bunch, has a man wide open! Big time gain, J.P. Richardson.
And J.P. Richardson was open right away. Morris just doesn't see him right away, but he is running scot-free through the middle of this SMU defense.
Gain of 38 yards. Ball's now at the 30-yard line. Trey Sanders into the game to run the football. They fake it to Sanders. Morris swarmed and brought down Jalen Samuels, and the helmet comes off from Morris. And he's got to leave the game.
That's a nice, swift move. He's going to come and avoid the running back and then find a way to get back and get Morris as well. Underneath, rip, and get back to the quarterback. A nice job there. And like you said, the helmet comes off, so Morris is going to have to come out for a play. If TCU doesn't want to use a timeout, they're comfortable sending their backup quarterback in, Josh Hoover.
That's the 12th sack for SMU. Hoover, the redshirt freshman, he is from Heath, Texas, and they just asked him to pitch it out. This is Sanders. As a backup quarterback, do you ever feel comfortable coming in that situation and throwing the ball?
If it's 3rd and a little bit, you better be comfortable. But on 2nd down, it's pretty standard issue that you're probably just going to have a running play. But a pitch play, you know, it's kind of dangerous maybe.
A little finesse. All right, Morris back into the game. He inherits a 3rd and 14. Good luck.
It's middle open with the safeties. If they don't kick to the single high, look for this offense to get to the middle of the field. May use their tight end there.
Remember last time TCU had the ball, they converted the 3rd and 14. Look at a little deja vu. Morris. That is caught, but short of the line to gain. Robinson with the grab.
I mean, that is a nice throw to throw a guy open. I mean, that's the paradigm of what throwing a guy open looks like.
4th and 3, they go for it. Play was blown up with wonderful pressure, but lobbing it up for the 1st down. Major Everhart makes the catch. How did Morris even know that was available?
What poise by Morris, knowing where your guys are, so when you get in trouble, you know what you can do, and it's a safe throw, right? You're throwing it up, it's 4th down, nothing bad can truly happen, but something really positive can, and they're still on the move.
TCU has had some bad down and distances that they've converted. This is Sanders! Got walloped! Oh my goodness! Alex Kilgore met it with some force.
Yeah, I mean, that jumping up thing is really nice until a guy comes and kaboom! Hits you out of the air.
That's an exciting 3-yard gain for Sanders, who remains in the game. I tip my cap to him. Sanders to the 16. And some little extracurriculars. Just 40 miles, by the way, folks, separate these two campuses. Actually, 40 miles separate the two football stadiums.
Yeah, you know, something super interesting. Kamar Wheaton on one side for SMU is playing extremely well. And then you got Trey Sanders, both guys that were 5-star running back recruits that went to Alabama and are now at their respective programs.
If you're a 5-star and going to Alabama, there's something there. Something to work with. Sanders in the backfield next to Morris.
Got 0, got to get to the middle.
3rd down pass. Again, the change move. Wonderful offense by TCU. Man, they're making all the big plays.
SMU was in that 0 defense. You got to get to that middle. They do a good job of it.
Sanders down to the 3. TCU is 4 for 7 on 3rd down. That's a bit deceptive. Twice they haven't made it on third down, but then proceeded to get it on fourth down. Second down and goal. Sanders. This is the tight end Wiley. Touchdown TCU. Second touchdown to the tight end Wiley.
This is a win from the start. You're going to get in the flat with Wiley. Well, the guy covering him has to go around all the trash to try to make it to the flat, and there's just not enough time. He's sprinting as fast as he can, but the ball gets outside. You outflank the defense right away. Touchdown TCU. McGill did everything he could, but you can't run through the trash. You have to go around it. He has to go around it, and it's too late.
So TCU, they had to punt first time they had it, but each of the last two possessions, tutty. They lead 14-3.
Everybody loves a big pick play, and here's how this play worked. You got the trash. This is the trash here. So McGill is going to have to sift through that, go all the way bubbled around over the top, while you have the tight end Wiley into the flat right away. It's just too much to get through to make sure that you cover the guy you're supposed to have. So they don't even truly have to set those screens or those picks that we see so much in the red zone. They just go run their route, and there's a lot to get through. Nice job by Wiley. I mean, you don't want to give this big guy too much space. He already creates enough space with his size.
6'7", Jared Wiley. 2 touchdowns. Nice day. Still have 6:58 remaining in our first half. And the ball bounces in the end zone, and will be a touchback. All right, one thing we need to get back to, SMU. Remember they had it last time. They went for it fourth down. They didn't get it. Devin, you mentioned during the break, maybe one of the things that factored into that, they don't have any timeouts remaining.
Yeah, of course, when you go to the line of scrimmage and you say, this is not the look we want to run this play, and I know that Coach, offensive coordinator, Coach Casey Woods, I know he didn't want to run the ball into a 7 or 8 man box, but you can't look to the sideline. You can't just yell out, hey, don't run the play, take the penalty. And so those 3 timeouts are proving very big, because you just do not want to run into an 8 man box on fourth down and 2.
And SMU had to use 3 timeouts in the first quarter, which is exceedingly unusual. Preston Stone has a man wide open. This is Daniels down to the 30. Oh, that's a shot of momentum that the Mustangs needed.
That'll work. It's a nice job by Daniel Sr. on the skinny post route.
33 yards on that pitch and catch.
That was one of the few times we saw TCU bring pressure, and when they take one of those guys out of the back end, you saw that SMU was able to make them pay.
43-yard gain for Daniels. Looking for a bunch again. Incomplete. In the direction of Keyshawn Smith. Second down at 10.
You're going to have a post here, but this is going to entice the safety to move out of the way, and it's going to allow Daniel Sr. to come underneath, right, get to the post, and he's wide open.
Daniels out of the game right now, second down and 10. Kamar Wheaton is in the backfield. We've had nothing but Wheaton today, a little bit of Knighton, but no L.J. Johnson. We knew he was banged up coming into this game. Catches made close to the line of scrimmage. Again, coming back for the ball was Jordan Hudson.
So for Preston Stone, he has to take a deep breath and calm down. He hasn't been under much pressure, but on that play, he created the pressure. There was no imminent danger, but he starts to drift back instead of climbing into the pocket. As a quarterback, you want to try to climb into the pocket, because that's where a lot of those big plays are created. If you continue to drift with no imminent danger, you're going to create issues for yourself. That's what he had there, so we just had to check it down.
So it's third down. They bring in Tyler Levine. Levine wears number 31. He's next to Stone in the backfield.
The box is light again. There he goes.
Yeah, he read it beautifully, and Stone has himself a first down. I don't think he knew where the marker was. He was pressing forward and paid the price. He got whacked.
Yeah, this time TCU, they rush 4, but they just don't have enough. The quarterback is the extra guy. They have 5 blockers plus a 6th quarterback. He gets right down the middle. Nice job. Whether it was a design quarterback draw, it doesn't look like it because the offensive lineman didn't get to the second level, or him just thinking, I have more numbers, I'm going to be able to be the plus.
So first down at 10. This is Levine. He runs hard. Oh, boy.
Yeah, he does.
Tyler Levine, grad student from Cedar Park, Texas. Gain of 7.
Backside, Maryland did a very good job of cutting his guy off and creating the opportunity for Levine to get vertical.
Second straight carry for Levine, this time driven backwards. Hard to bring him down. Oh, the flag comes down.
I think they're going to get him for a late hit there.
Could be a face mask. Look at Levine's helmet as it almost is.
Oh, yeah, big time face mask. And he knew it right away. Big number 90, Caleb Fox, just snatches him down by his helmet. Man, that's a big penalty. You're going to set up a third down where they lost yardage.
Foul. Face mask. Defense, number 90. Penalties half the distance to the goal. An automatic. First down.
And Caleb Fox.
He's coming across right. He's just reaching, trying to grab anything as he's passing through, and he makes a mistake and grabs the face mask. And that's a big, strong man once he grabs it.
So the ball is moved forward down to the 6-yard line. This is the drive that SMU needed. Remember, they scored that field goal first time they had it, but then 2 unproductive drives in a row. Wheaton back into the game.
If he moves, you can get right there.
Whistle stops play. And it's a timeout.
First charge timeout. TCU.
There was a lot of confusion. Shad Banks Jr., who's making some of those calls, was kind of looking silent. What are we in? What are we in? Call timeout. SMU will come back.
The locals feeling it. TCU on top of SMU, 14-3. Yet another sellout here in Fort Worth. Rushing yards allowed. Uh-oh, something's happening.
Yeah.
SMU figuring it out against TCU.
Absolutely. Remember when we talked to Coach Casey Woods, he was adamant about the fact that they are going to test this rush defense of TCU, and they're doing a very good job to this point in the game. And getting Kamar Wheaton into the lineup is something I think really helps as well.
Well, it's currently Tyler Levine in the backfield next to Stone. Designed quarterback run. And Stone can't get to the edge. Jamel Johnson, freshman from Arlington, getting a chance to play, makes a stop.
Big Nolan Matthews Harris had the block that is going to spring this run for a touchdown at the point of attack, and he just wasn't able to corral him, and he blows up the entire play. When you're running a run play, the point of attack, where the run is going, that initial block has to be stout for anything to work.
Wheaton back into the game.
You can go back outside zone. I would go outside zone again with the quarterback. Not now. Or maybe so.
Stone tackled again in space. It's that man again, Jamel Johnson.
Yeah, but what you do there is, instead of having that lead blocker as the running back, you take him away and then you put the quarterback out there by himself. And Stone is a great athlete, but not the athlete that's going to be able to make guys miss and get in the end zone in these tight situations. But here's a third down. I would love to see Stone on the move, but with an option to pass the ball as well as run it. The field is wide open outside.
Wheaton's got it! Touchdown, SMU! First touchdown of the ball game for the Mustangs.
When they get down in here tight, they tried to go around, they tried to go through, and they said, why not give it to Wheaton and allow him to go over the pile for a touchdown? When we talked to this coaching staff, they said they will attack this defense in the run game. They've done just that, and they found great success.
So that snaps a 14-0 run by TCU. And we've got a 4-point ball game. 9-play, 75-yard drive. Capped off by the touchdown, Kamar Wheaton. 2:54 remaining when we come back.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, Florida State looks to prove itself at Clemson while Jim Harbaugh returns to the sidelines for Michigan. And which ranked matchup on today's schedule is the most intriguing? We got 6 of them today, Eric and Devin. We'll see you at the half.
I'm just saying, Mike Hill does a great job.
Yeah, he's dressed nice as well. You know, I'm always about the, guys dressing nicely. He got great wardrobe there in L.A. Huh?
Yeah, he does. Mike Hill. All right, so SMU's going to kick it off after scoring the touchdown, Kamar Wheaton. And now TCU's going to have the ball after the touchback. TCU, everyone rowing in the same direction. They have touchdowns each of the last 2 times they've had the football.
Yeah, we talked about it in the open, and TCU just continues on that same track, kind of picking up where they left off a week ago. This offense is really moving like a well-oiled machine. It's because of the man on your screen. Chandler Morris is really starting to feel comfortable and really look like how he looked when he won the job a year ago.
There really wasn't much of a debate. Like they said, he flat out won it in 2020.
They said, they went as far as saying it maybe wasn't even close.
Yeah. All right, so Bailey in the backfield, a whistle blows.
Ball start. Offense number 3. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's the second penalty enforced against TCU.
Yeah, he's going to be the outside receiver at top of the tree. You're not going to see him here, but he just kind of startles and moves early.
Colton Deary has checked into the game. He's number 51. He's going to be your right guard, getting playing time for TCU. Catch is made by Bailey. And Bailey out across the 30 to the 31.
Man, this Imani Bailey has been a revelation for this offense this season. Obviously, the throwing and running ability of Chandler Morris, amazing, but Imani Bailey really gives his team balance.
Bailey, slow to get started, dragged down from behind. Corey Roberson with the tackle, 3rd and 2. And we've got a TCU lineman down. So everyone's going to get a chance on a hot day to rest for a moment before this 3rd down and 2. Well, tomorrow it's a huge doubleheader on Fox, starting with Derek Carr and the Saints taking on Jordan Love and the Packers for other regional action. Then it's America's Game of the Week. Justin Fields, been a tough week for him and the Chicago Bears. They're going to battle Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, or Cowboys Cardinals, all on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Been a tough week and getting tougher, right? You got to go. You got the Kansas City Chiefs coming in. Everybody knows how sometimes the Kansas City Chiefs, when they're trying to figure themselves out, they start off a little slow. Travis Kelce's back, and Patrick Mahomes is hearing guys talk about all these other quarterbacks. It's just not a good place to be if you're a Bears fan.
All right, 3rd down and 2. Inside run, pushing the pile. I don't know. Kobe Wilson on that tackle. And it's 4th down. They didn't get there. So the fist is in the air. It's 4th down on the 35, and TCU's going to have to punt it away. Yes, Sonny Dykes didn't want to give it back to SMU, but I think maybe factoring in the decision to punt it away is SMU doesn't have any timeouts. So it would be smart for TCU to take this all the way down, this play clock, all the way down to 0. Oh, left some meat on the bone. They left 5 seconds on that clock that they could have wound down. So SMU's going to have the ball with no timeouts and 83 seconds remaining in the half.
Take a look at Jalen Samuels. This is what you do when you set the edge. This is amazing. He makes his play. Boom! Oh, absolutely not. It closes that gap, and now Imani Bailey has nowhere to go. SMU's defense stands strong.
Good golly. That was Chase Curtis, backup tight end, who got absolutely walloped.
He didn't see that coming.
No.
That's how you set the edge. And for kids at home that are playing defensive end, maybe outside linebacker, that is the paradigm of what setting the edge looks like.
I remember, no timeouts for SMU. They used all 3 in the 1st quarter. Stone. Maryland almost made a highlight level one-handed catch. That stops the clock, 1:18.
Yeah, and that's tough because that's not a play action pass. That's an RPO. So the longer you ride that thing in there, he's trying to get those linebackers to really suck up, but they just didn't. That ball should have been given.
Last year, R.J. Maryland had a touchdown against Maryland.
Yeah, we had that game.
We did. Yeah. We thought it's got to be the first time a guy with the name of Maryland scored a touchdown against Maryland. It was. But a whole bunch of Washingtons have scored touchdowns against the University of Washington, so we couldn't really go there. 2nd down run. This is Knighton. out across the 40, and it's a first down for the Mustangs.
And this is possibly what they could have had on that previous play. When that ball is given, they just don't have enough guys. The linebackers aren't committing, and they're not triggering very fast. So you get the fullbacks and offensive linemen up to that second level, and it allows Knighton to get on the outside and pick up a nice gain.
Quickly back to the line. Knighton, short gain. This is going to take some time. Oh, this is going to take a lot of time. No timeouts for SMU. It's a 5-yard gain, but they're going to lose 20 seconds here. Substitutions for both sides as the clock continues to move.
They are not moving at light speed like they should be.
And another run, and the clock is going to continue to run.
That's tough. It would stop. They anticipated that they might be able to get the first down, but they don't get it, and they don't have any timeouts to stop the clock. And they had such a good thing going on this drive.
So now under 20 seconds. Stone just throws it up for grabs. Incomplete, 4th down and 3.
I would have loved to see that play on 2nd down, right? So now you give a chance for the wide receiver to make a play, obviously, and if he doesn't, it's an incomplete pass, and now it's almost like calling timeout. You stop the clock.
And so with the ball almost at midfield, 4th down and 3, you can't just even chance it, even though you could. You could throw 15-yard pass over the middle. Clock stops.
Yeah, but TCU, if you don't complete it, right, TCU still has one timeout left and not many yards to go to try to get in the field goal range. You don't want to give points away here. I like the decision to punt it away.
And I don't think they're worried about the play clock. And play clock expires, and that's no sweat for anyone.
Delay game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Yeah, Ryan Buchevsky was just kind of chilling out, not really worried about taking his delay of game to give a little bit more space to kick this ball nice and high so the clock continues to run, and TCU doesn't have any opportunity to be frisky.
Buchevsky from Australia. Hard to find a punter who's not from Australia these days. You're doing any football game across the country, and they've cornered the market.
Very true. TCU's coming after it. Not even close.
And into the end zone touchback with 3 seconds remaining in our 2nd quarter. So can't imagine a world in which TCU does anything except for just take a knee. That's a 56-yard punt, but a net of only 36 because of the touchback. It's been a fun first half.
Yes, it has.
Remember, we've got an iron skillet on the line. TCU won that skillet a year ago. Looks like they didn't oil it up.
And a lot of families, man, that iron skillet passes through the generations.
Oh, yeah. Seasoned.
You know, I bought one for myself because, you know, I have a lot of older brothers and sisters, so my mom gave it away to those people. And so I had to buy my own. And so when I get a chance, you know, I know, right? When I get a chance, we give mine away. But
got to season it. All right, so 30 minutes in the books. So far, so good for TCU. They lead 14-10. Right now, let's send you back to Los Angeles with Mike Hill for the State Farm Halftime Report.
All right, welcome to the State Farm Halftime Show. We are in our LA studios, Battle of the Iron Skillet. He makes some really good cornbread.
In an iron skillet.
In a black iron skillet. That's so good. Mike Hill, that is the coach Chris Peterson, Emmanuel Acho, TCU with 2 10-play TD drives. The reason they have this 14-10 lead in 4th down conversions really paying off for them as we take a look at our State Farm halftime highlights. Coach.
Yeah, I love first how Chandler Morris is playing. 2 touchdowns, really efficient, but it has come down to 4th downs here. J.P. Richardson on the little option play, great effort. And then TCU's defense showing up here. Look at the effort that they're running through gaps, making plays. And then a tremendous throw by Chandler here. I mean, look at him just drop this in here. This, to me, has been like the difference in the game right here in the first half. Super competitive.
Well, Coach, you're exactly right. TCU only has a 1.4 yards per rush, so it's got to be on Chandler Morris. 13 of 15, 2 touchdowns. Like, he is doing what needs to be done for them to get it done.
Yeah, he is leading the Big 12 in passing yardage per game this season so far, filling the shoes of Max Duggan quite handily. Second half coming up momentarily. Meanwhile, the 4th-ranked Seminoles get a chance to prove themselves in a major ACC clash with Clemson. Could this be a passing of the torch? So far, Clemson not having it. And Jim Harbaugh is back. Back from Michigan to show you how the Wolverines look in Ann Arbor against a 3-0 Rutgers team that's playing tough right now.
Welcome back to the State Farm FS1 College Football Halftime Show. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
TCU with the 4-point lead, thanks to Jared Wiley getting that touchdown catch right there. 1-2 on the day. TCU, they're up 14-10. Fourth-ranked Florida State visited Clemson today in a battle for control of the ACC. The Tigers, of course, have won the last 7 head-to-head meetings against the Seminoles. The Seminoles haven't won in Death Valley since 2013. Jameis Winston was quarterback back then. Wow. Cade Klubnik, quarterback now for Clemson. He's got great receivers like Bo Collins. Look at that catch.
Klubnik choosing a good day to have a good day. That's a phenomenal catch right there on an inside shoulder throw. Ball should have been outside, but receiver helped out Klubnik.
Klubnik is making it happen, as you mentioned there, Acho, going deep to Tyler Brown right here. Another great catch. Brown shaking up on the play, but he would later return. That would lead to this because Klubnik.
Tush push.
Billy push.
That's what they call it.
Everybody's doing it now. Might as well get in on it. If it works, keep it going. Clemson up 10-0, but Florida State trying to come back. Jordan Travis, Keon Coleman. Florida State down 10-7. Just moments ago, though, Clemson drives right back down the field, and Klubnik, Will Shipley, that weapon.
Looks like Dabo Swinney has his boys ready to roll.
17-7. And then moments ago, Jordan Travis.
It's a game,
coming
man.
right back. Okay. Big man.
Get off me, little man.
Will not be denied.
Get off
Still
me,
waiting
little
on the
man.
extra point. 17-13 right now. Good game going on, Death Valley. Rutgers, Michigan, guess who's back, Coach?
He's back.
Jim Harbaugh, King Khaki himself, coming off that 3-game suspension. Opening drive, Gavin Wimsatt, quick pass over the middle to Christian Trammell. Look, he's gone. Ooh. And Rutgers with the 7-0 lead.
When that happens early in a game, it takes so much resilience by a defense to settle in and get ready to come back out.
You know, Michigan's going to come back off the flea flicker. Jaden McCarthy, the coast in Loveland, 35 yards inside the 5.
Got to score.
You know who's going to get the ball now, right? That monster.
Yes, you do.
Blake Corum, 2-yard touchdown. We're tied at 7. Second quarter now. McCarthy going to find some Maj Morgan.
Hell of a ball.
Nice. 18-yard touchdown. Michigan with the lead right now. 14-7. That game over there. Oklahoma and Cincinnati. This game over on Fox. Dylan Gabriel on the keeper. Uh-oh.
That is,
gotta hold on to the ball.
That is one heck of a tackle right there.
Of course, Cincinnati in its Big 12 opener. Gabriel, though, finds Nick Anderson here for the 5-yard score. Oklahoma up 7-3. Second quarter, Bearcats down 10-3. Emory Jones throws deep. But Oklahoma's defense, they're playing good ball this year.
Got to hold that safety in the middle with your eyes.
Got to hold the safety, coach, so you can pull him back.
It's just 10-3 right now for Oklahoma. What you seeing, Archo?
Well, Dylan Gabriel has to be better, quarterback at Oklahoma. It's 10-3, but it should be 17-3 at minimum. He misses receiver Jalil Farouk early on in the game, and it's got to be a touchdown. Yeah. It has to be. And then he fumbles going in when they're about to get 7, and instead they get 0. So Oklahoma's playing much better football this year, but Dylan Gabriel will be the key to Oklahoma's success. If he plays at a high level, they play at a high level.
I think that's been the knock on Dylan Gabriel, if there is one. He kind of overthrows deep balls a little too often. He'll settle in. First big road game right here. I think he'll be better in the second half.
The important thing right now, the Sooners are leading right now 10-3, and the defense still playing good defense, as we've seen all season long out of them. Last week, Deion Sanders in Colorado treated us to a double overtime thriller. What will they do for an encore against Oregon? I wonder how Coach feels about this. Jared Wiley showed him the first touchdown. Showing you the second touchdown right now. He's got 2 of them. It's the reason TCU is in front right now, 14-10.
Welcome back to the State Farm FS1 College Football Halftime Show. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Coach P, Acho, and me, Auburn, Texas A&M, SEC, Connor Wigman, Reuben Owens getting the party started. That's 26-yard game. That led to a field goal. They led 3-0 later in the first. Le'Veon Moss.
No short of big-time athletes at Texas A&M.
Got to put it all together, though.
Absolutely.
Right now, they're on top 6-0 over Auburn. Army, Syracuse is undefeated. Army, you know, what are they going to do? They're going to run the ball. Kobe Buchanan, 1 yard out. It's 10-3 right now. Army on the road leading Syracuse. 3 Pac-12 games coming your way later on Fox, including a pair of ranked matchups. First, number 22 UCLA battles 11th-ranked Utah at 3:30. Then at 7, 14th-ranked Oregon State visits number 21 Washington State. And at 10:30, number 5 USC takes on Arizona State. You can catch all the action on Fox. So Fox has 2 of the ranked matchups. We got 6 ranked matchups today. Here are the other 4 ranked matchups, including Colorado, and, of course, in Oregon, Ohio State. Number 9, Notre Dame, Iowa at Penn State later tonight. It's a whiteout there in Happy Valley. Of those matchups, which one is the most intriguing, Acho?
Easy for me. It's the Colorado matchup.
Okay.
Colorado and Oregon. That's the most intriguing matchup because that matchup will substantiate everything that we have seen thus far from Colorado or lack thereof. And obviously Oregon, if they whoop up on Colorado, then that will quiet all the noise in the pack, and we will have to put Oregon right there atop with USC. But I looked at it very simply, Coach. If Colorado wins and beats Oregon, then Colorado is good, and all of those previous wins are substantiated. But if Colorado happens to lose to Oregon, well, then they only beat TCU because TCU wasn't that good. They only beat Nebraska because Nebraska wasn't that good. They only beat Colorado State because Colorado wasn't that good. Colorado State wasn't that good. The narrative will change. All those
What if
previous
they make
wins
it
will
close,
change.
though? What if they make it close?
If they make it close, that will count as a moral victory. And there are no moral victories in the win column and a box score, but it will count for something.
All I know about this game is this is the first real test for the Buffaloes.
Ooh.
That's what I want to see. They're going to be tested. Let's see if they're at that level or not. It's going to be fun.
It's going to
Sound
be
like
fun.
y'all making it personal. That's all I'm saying. Prime, I hope you're watching. What about you? Most intriguing matchup?
Well, I'm interested in this Notre Dame Ohio State game.
That's
I
big.
think it's going to be phenomenal. I go back and forth who I think is going to win. Everybody wants to talk about these quarterbacks, Kyle McCord, Sam Hartman. I do think it's going to come down to those 2 guys, but I really think it's going to come down to the pass rush of Ohio State. Can these defensive ends, Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau, can they get after Sam Hartman? If they can't, Notre Dame will win. If they can, I like Ohio State's chances.
I'm looking at it very simply, man. Notre Dame and Sam Hartman, this dude started like 50, 60 games.
Yeah.
McCord on the flip side started about 4 of them things. So if you got to go with the experience of the quarterback, then I really think Notre Dame is going to step up coaching. They're going to put up a fight.
Hartman, 15 touchdown passes this season, no interceptions in 4 games. Audric Estime. They also got a strong running game as well, Notre Dame. They got a good defense. Should be a really good one tonight. It's the 5th straight time they're ranking up, matching up as top 10 teams. Kamar Wheaton getting in for the touchdown for SMU. See if they can add to that in the second half. Coming up.
They love their Horned Frogs in Fort Worth, Texas. We've got an iron skillet on the line. 4-point ball game. Get ready to play our 3rd quarter. TCU and SMU. Glad to have you along for the ride. Sure have enjoyed it so far. With Devin Gardner, I am Eric Collins. Big story in our first half that we maybe didn't expect. The ability, I know they're not winning the game right now, but the ability of SMU to run the football against TCU's defense.
Yeah, I mean, they're almost imposing their will. When we talked to offensive coordinator Casey Woods, he said, listen, nobody's ever tried it, right? They haven't really attacked them, and for TCU on their run defense, they've only allowed 60 yards a game. Already today, 125, right? This SMU offense is really doing the things that they know they can do, they wanted to do. Now, remember, on their second drive, they had an opportunity to run and get a first down on 3rd down with the light box. They didn't take advantage of that opportunity. But since then, they've taken advantage every single opportunity they had, and that's why they're in this game against a really good TCU defense.
And TCU, remember, had not given up an offensive touchdown since week 1 in that kind of discombobulated loss against Colorado. But SMU got them. Kamar Wheaton got a rushing touchdown, and it is a 4-point ball game as we begin our 3rd quarter. TCU will start on offense. TCU won this rivalry game a year ago. That game was, of course, down in Dallas. This game's in Fort Worth. And a touchback. Now let's take a look at our Dos Half Update, sponsored by Dos Equis. Enjoy responsibly.
You see it's a very even game. Obviously, the edge in total yards going to SMU just by a bit there. But I think a big part of this game, fourth down, was 2 for 2 for TCU, and they went for them as if they were just a part of their offense, right? Just third down opportunities, but they were on fourth down. Outstanding job by Chandler Morris. And when you have a guy that can run and throw and make good decisions in those short fourth down situations, especially when you cross the 50, I go for it every time.
Imani Bailey averaging 119 yards per game did not have much success at all in that first half. And now they're trying to get him going. They give him the ball. And it's a gain of 7 on first down.
Yeah, you haven't seen a bunch of pulling by the offensive linemen for TCU. I expect to see that to create some more of those power situations with Imani Bailey in the run game.
Bailey with a head start. He's got the first down. Tackled from behind Kobe Wilson, but the chains will move.
On that last play, they pulled the offensive lineman the opposite way, and it's kind of a misdirection and send Bailey to the right. He picks up a nice gain.
Morris slings it. Oh, that's a dangerous ball up in the air. Richardson's had it slip through the fingers, and it went up in the air, but no one could get to it.
Yeah, it ended up being dangerous, but a nice job. Chandler Morris flips his hips and drives that ball right on the face mask of Richardson. He has to make that play, but because he didn't, it does become a very dangerous ball in the middle of the defense.
Neither side has committed a turnover today, in case you're wondering. Making that catch to the 45-yard line. That's Blake Knoll. Knoll hadn't played much this year, but he's been in the action so far today.
Yeah, it was a nice job just running the slant route and shielding the defender from the ball. Nice throw by Chandler Morris.
Third down and 1, they get the first down.
I mean, TCU's offense is picking up right where they left off. Imani Bailey being sprinkled in when he can. I think they want to lean on him just a little bit more to keep him going and keep the pressure on SMU's defense. But Chandler Morris is making good decisions in the RPO and the drop back pass game.
Keeper for the quarterback, Morris. Big chunk of yards inside the 30 to the 26.
You get pullers pulling around. That's a design run for Morris. He pulls that ball out and jumps behind his offensive lineman and picks up a very nice gain.
They scored 22 yards on the scamper. Bailey, middle of the line, and for the first time really this half, nothing going on. Tackle made by big Jordan Miller. Miller's listed at 357 pounds. Good God. All right, second down and 8. Trey Sanders has come into the game. They fake it to him. Morris makes the first blitzer miss, makes the second man miss. He's got the first down. What a crafty run by the quarterback, Chandler Morris.
I mean, outstanding. The blitzer comes from depth. He's getting right to it. I see you, gotcha. Right? You look up as if you don't see him, and then you right away get away like a quick cat. And then he gets on the outside, picks up as much as he can. I love the poise that I'm seeing from Chandler Morris, right? Not flustered when he has pressure in his face.
Another keeper, and this one was doomed, and we've got a flag down.
Holding. Offense, number 53. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Relatively well-played game in the first half. Only 4 combined penalties, but this one's going to hurt.
Yeah, it's going to be the center right there.
Oh, no doubt about it.
See him try to pull away. And once the guy tries to pull away, you have to let him go. They see that jersey tug just a bit, and they're going to throw it every time.
So they now move it to the 23-yard line. It's first down and 20. I got to get halfway to Dallas.
Got an opportunity down here, one-on-one. I would take a chance.
They don't. They just put it right up the gut. And they get back about half of what they lost. Imani Bailey picks up 6. 7 runs, 2 passes this drive. Biggest chunks of yards have come with the quarterback Chandler Morris keeping the football.
A lot of open space right here.
Morris, incomplete. Trying to dump it to JoJo Earl. Lifted the head up just a bit.
Kendall Brown saw the exact same thing. They tried to get the running back. They ran this play earlier. They tried to get everybody into that area, but the SMU defense does a good job of lifting, and then he tries to just check it down to JoJo Earl, and JoJo Earl tries to make a play without the ball.
So it's possible to get a first down without getting a touchdown, but it's not likely. They need to get to the 3. Ball's on the 17.5-yard line.
Down here, out-breaking route, out-leverage the defense already.
They go the other way, and incomplete. Richardson had a step, and he would have had a first down.
Yeah, he goes in motion super quick, right? And in the secondary, they just lose them. They don't know which guy they're going to get. When you get stack releases and motions, you lose out on who you're supposed to have, and we just miss them if you're Chandler Morris.
So it will be 4th down and 14, and the field goal unit will come on. This is Griffin Kell for a 35-yard attempt. Standard issue. Kell's got a massive leg. He's made 2 50-yarders this year. That one goes through, and the lead swells to 7 for TCU. SMU's ball when we come back. TCU had the ball first to begin our second half. They marched down the field and put 3 on the board. 35-yard field goal. Griffin Kell.
If I'm the SMU defense, I'm slapping hands a little bit, right? Because this TCU offense has been rolling since that first half and then going into the second half, and you're kind of reeling that entire drive, and then you find a way to bow your neck in the red zone and get a stop and force a field goal.
Penalty was huge.
Huge.
Went from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 20. Good luck. It'll be a touchback. So SMU's first second half possession.
I'm so interested to see the adjustment that TCU makes. Obviously, they saw the stats. They know that they've given up a ton of yards on the ground, something they're not accustomed to usually doing. So I really want to see how do they change? Do they add guys into the box more often? And how does SMU counter in the passing or run game?
Take a look at that line right now. Justin Osborne was effective in small doses. He's not on the field for SMU. The right guard is his backup, Ben Sparks. Stone. Play wasn't working, just threw it in the ground. End of the second quarter, we also saw number 71 in white, Logan Parr, leave the field early, but he's back out there at his left guard position. There's Logan Parr. 2nd down and 10. SMU was able to run the football effectively. Close to 5 yards per carry in the first half. Stone up for grabs. Incomplete. Moochie Dixon, the intended receiver.
That's something that we just didn't see in the beginning of the game. These opportunities, and they had it right there. I mean, Moochie is going to be very upset with himself because he had both hands on that ball. That's a nice throw by Preston Stone outside to make sure you keep this defense honest, but they just aren't able to connect.
It's going to go against SMU.
It's like the illegal man downfield, that RPO, you wait a little too long.
And that's what receiver downfield. Offense. That penalty's decline. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, so they take the incompletion, and it's now 3rd down and 10.
You get that a lot with the different RPO types of things, and Preston Stone does a very good job pushing the limits to how far he can go with his kind of play fake. Man, I hate to say it on 3rd and 10, but running the ball is an option here.
Well, they fake the run. Stone buying time. Incomplete. 3 consecutive incomplete passes, and it is going to be a super quick 3 and out for the Mustangs.
I mean, TCU, I think their adjustment is, right, we're going to leave our 5 guys in the box and we're going to risk it. If you're going to run the ball and think you can get 10, we'll live with that. And when you do pass, they green dog right away, right? We talked about green dog in the first half where the linebacker's not truly blitzing, but he sees green grass and he starts to run and chase the quarterback when he sees an opening. And there you saw it, and that's why Stone had to get out so quickly. Remember in the first half, he sat in the pocket with the three-man rush, didn't have to move a bunch. This time, TCU puts him on the move.
And this punt's not so good. Oh, but it takes a wonderful bounce. Oh, the Mustangs will take it. I'll take a couple more of those. Ball is going to be down at the 24-yard line. And that is where TCU will take over with a 7-point lead. Well, today on Fox, we've got a Pac-12 triple header. UCLA faces Utah 3:30 Eastern. Then Oregon State's going to take on Washington State, followed by Caleb Williams leading the 5th-ranked USC Trojans against Arizona State. Now, we believe that this ball may have been touched by an SMU player as it was rolling down the field. They originally says a 51-yard punt down to the 25. Now they're going to mark it at the 35 because they think that's where it was touched by SMU.
So hard to see there. You got to see a change of direction of the ball, and I don't see it clear and obvious if the call on the field was that he didn't touch it. I don't know how clear and obvious that is, but Dean is here to help us. Dean Blandino, what do you say about that review?
So we're looking to see, I believe it's 31. If it hits the kicking team player there, then the receiving team can take the ball at that spot. It's really close. I can't tell if he touched it or not. They ruled that he did. Let's see what the call is.
Okay.
After further review, the ruling of an illegal touch at the 40-yard line stands. First down.
Okay, so that's going to be good for TCU. They'll move the ball to the 40. Thank you, Dean. And that's where TCU will start their second half drive.
Are you a little saddened that we didn't get to see what Dean was wearing his outfit today? He's always so fly. I mean, I feel bad. You know, we'll have to try to manufacture him back into the broadcast at some point.
Well, we talked about Mike Hill's wardrobe. Emmanuel Acho looking,
of course.
dapper dude.
Fox guys. Looks nice.
Jalen Morris hands it off. This is Corey Wren. Corey Wren's going to get a little burn here. For Wren, that is the first time he has touched the football. Just his 5th carry of the year.
Yeah.
Transfer from Florida State. 9 yards on that carry. Back-to-back carries for Wren.
Yeah, Wren getting a little run there, man. He's hitting the edge and kind of doing the same things that we saw Imani Bailey do. Picking up a first down.
The Birdman, Corey Wren. He's from New Orleans. 2 carries, fresh set of downs. Now they fake it to Wren, out in space. Catch is made. And that's also the first time touching the football today. First time that we have seen DJ Allen.
And it's just a quick screen, going to come now. And you got to get a block here. And it's a nice job getting a block outside. But how about Isaiah Wachovia? I mean, that's a form tackle if I've ever seen one. You get your head out of the way, shoulder into his midsection, and drive your legs. Nice job holding that play to a minimum gain.
So Kendall Wiles, the offensive coordinator, has got 3 guys at skill positions that have not played at all today. You got Wren, you got Allen, you got Cordell Russell, who wears number 1. This is just an interesting group of guys that are getting an opportunity here at second possession of the 3rd quarter. It's an unusual personnel grouping.
Yeah, but they go back to their bread and butter, Imani Bailey, and he picks up enough for the first down.
Trent Battle is into the game, number 17 for TCU. He's in the backfield, and it's a direct snap to Bailey. There's a flag down. Try to get fancy, and it draws flags.
It's interesting to see what that was there. Maybe not enough guys on the line of scrimmage, I think.
Illegal shift. Offense, number 80. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, they call it on DJ Rogers, who's number 80.
Yeah, so that means more than one guy was in motion at the same time. So it's usually for a tight end or a tackle. It's usually a guy where the motion is started and then he goes to get set or just does any movement. And now that's technically 2 guys in motion.
Remember, a penalty really slowed up the Horned Frogs last time they had it.
Yep.
Morris hits his tight end. This is Chase Curtis, and Curtis has got the first down. After getting whacked in the first half, he gets his up-and-comings. Also got his comeuppance. That's a 19-yard gain.
It's a very nice job of burying his head into the line of scrimmage and then popping out on the other side of the formation.
Morris drives it over the middle of the field. Dangerous throw. He had Major Everhart laying out to try and make that play. Could have been popped.
Yeah, we've seen some throws where the receiver should definitely make the catch. That is high over the middle. I think Morris was going to want to have that one back. He's got to put that right on his face mask. I think he does a very good job of wrapping around. Everhart does. Wrapping around the outside linebacker, kind of throttling his motor before he gets to the safety, but the ball's just a bit too high.
Look at those numbers in the second half. It's been all TCU. They only have 3 points to show for it. Caught! Down to the 10-yard line, Warren Thompson.
That's a nice job by Morris because that defensive line had a beeline right to his chest. He stood in there and made the throw.
First down. Tackle made by Nelson Paul. Bailey now 16 carries, doesn't have 50 yards yet. 16 carries, 49 yards. Oh, bad snap. Somehow they're able to squirt it out. And down to the 4-yard line goes Everhart. Ball came out late, but it stays with TCU.
Yeah, that's an adventure. A little dribble on the ground, but a nice heads-up play by Morris to get it and keep the play in motion.
They somehow get 5 out of it. Bailey trying to get to the edge. Not going to get there. Kobe Wilson, but the fourth guy that had a crack at him finally brings him down.
Yeah, he broke 3 tackles there, but a nice job of Kobe Wilson continuing to track him, and make the play. There's one broken tackle, right? Then he runs through another guy that's Corsley, and then another guy, and a nice job of gang tackling, making sure you get all of the 11 white hats to the ball.
So TCU flat out dominating this third quarter. We're almost 9 minutes into it, but having to settle for another field goal attempt. Kell gets it to go. He has got all 6 of the points for TCU here in the third quarter. Their lead is now 10. Welcome back, everyone. TCU doubling their pleasure over SMU. 20-10 is our score.
How about the Gardner group of 5, the guys outside the Power 5 that ball? Blake Watson, you got a couple of Georgia State guys. You got Eric McAllister. We saw him last week.
Oh, yeah.
6'4", making plays all over the field. Darren Granger out of Georgia State, 27 of 33, 466 yards, 3 touchdowns. Caden Salters, Liberty University, the Flames.
Right.
But they have an eagle on their helmet.
Yes.
It's odd,
yeah.
but he balled. Outstanding. He balled eagle.
Well, SMU currently in that group of 5. Next year, not so much.
Not
They're going to be
so
ACC.
Yes, they will. Moving on up.
TCU, of course, Big 12. These schools for many years were rivals in the old Southwest Conference. Southwest Conference was rolling for a long period of time.
Yeah, that's some ancient history there.
Not ancient.
That's a little ancient.
No. Eric Dickerson, Craig James.
Yeah, seems ancient.
Oh, really?
The Pony Express. You know I know about that Pony Express.
Yeah, you do. That was early 80s SMU football.
Yeah, Rhett Lashley said he did a very good job of teaching the guys all about the Pony Express and those guys that are kind of unheralded.
These are the first second half yards for SMU. Kamar Wheaton with the carry. SMU, the previous possession, went 3 and out with 3 incomplete passes.
Yeah, super quick. It was very interesting to see because they had done such a good job on the ground, right? It's kind of overthinking yourself there. Get back to what you know, especially in this game. Obviously, they love passing the ball, you know, as the season is gone. But in the run game is what's really taking advantage of TCU's defense.
Stone. Nifty. Finds his man. First down and much more. Jordan Hudson the transfer from TCU, has been on both sides of that iron skillet.
Eric, I'm just telling you, he's tired. He came all the way from the number 2 receiver to the left of the formation to the field and somehow ended up outside the numbers making a play. But that's a testament to Preston Stone being able to create, and make plays out of nothing.
26-yard gain. Look at Wheaton go. Oh, he's tripped up trying to make it through the hole. Obi Izor with the tackle.
Oh, it's the second time that he's lost his footing when he could have had a very big gain. He's done a very good job with patience, allowing his backside lineman, frontside lineman to get in front of him so he can make all the plays in the run game, but he's got to keep his feet on that one.
Nnamdi Obi Izor now with 9 tackles, 5 of them solo, with a sack. Wow. He's had a nice day. Knighton, not much there. Tackle number 10 for Obi Izor. If you're just joining us, and you heard us, we haven't talked much about Johnny Hodges. There's a reason for that. Johnny Hodges not playing today. A hand injury happened a week ago. Actually happened during practice this week. He's out indefinitely. He's been replaced by Shad Banks.
This is a pretty big third down here. Your defense just hasn't been able to stop TCU. They've had their way with you until they got in the red zone. You got to find a way to continue this drive here and give them a break.
Knighton's got it. Oh, can't make the first man miss. Coming off the edge, Mark Perry makes that play. It's now 4th down. And you're going for it, right?
I would, just because of how important it is to continue to move this ball down the field with TCU just moving the ball at will. Though they haven't scored touchdowns when they got to those drives, they're getting into the red zone fairly quickly. That defense is tired. You got to give them a break. You got to have your best play to get two yards here. Usually you come into a game with 2 or 3 two-point plays. I think you use one of those 2-point plays here to make sure you get the first down.
All right, so it's going to be the bigger back, Tyler Levine, in the backfield next to Stone.
It's a lot of guys in that box.
Oh, my goodness. Degree of difficulty way up there, and it's busted up. Trying to get just a couple of yards. They tried that, and it's incomplete on the defense. Abe Kamara. On 4th and 2, little out.
Kamara had an opportunity there to get picked, and he just doesn't. He doesn't bubble back. He's back far enough that he can take a straight beeline to make sure he gets that right hand in front to stop that play from being completed. Outstanding job by Kamara.
Were you okay with the play call on 4th down and 2?
I would have loved him to attack more. Right, run. This is an option for you to also run the ball, and it just looks like he was pretty gingered, thinking that the pick would definitely work, and he just didn't have it because Kamara made such a good play.
Here's Bailey, and Bailey close to midfield. Been tough sledding all day long for Imani Bailey. Came in to this ball game averaging close to 120 yards per game. May not get there today. He's about halfway to that total. And we do have a Mustang down. Ahmad Walker.
Media timeout.
So we've got an official timeout. We'll take it with him. Back 3:16 remaining in our 3rd quarter. 3:16 remaining in our 3rd quarter. Ahmad Walker being helped to the side. TCU's got the football. They've been running the football effectively here in the 3rd quarter. Imani Bailey has been much better than the first half. Chandler Morris, as the running quarterback, has done a good job. Bailey to midfield.
Man, Imani Bailey has such good poise as a runner, right? Sometimes he has opportunities where you can jump outside and you see running backs make that mistake and then they go outside and there's no defense, right? There's nobody to help them get through the defense, but he stays inside, sticks it up, and he's comfortable with those 3 and 2-yard runs.
Morris, little feathery pass to his tight end. That's Wiley. That's the 5th catch for Wiley. Remember, he had the 2 touchdowns in the first half.
How's that play made? It's made by Chandler Morris's ability to stay inside the pocket and climb up. I call it getting into the fight, right? He gets into the fight, climbs up, and that's where things opened up, and you got your big tight end coming across the field.
All of a sudden, this is a massive drive. If they can get a touchdown, TCU will have a commanding lead.
Yeah. like we talked about, for SMU, this defense is running out of gas, right? They haven't been able to stop TCU. Only time they were able to stop them is when TCU kind of stopped themselves with penalties or what have you in the red zone.
Bailey, he's got the first down, he's got the touchdown! Imani Bailey, best run of the day, and TCU up big.
Here we go. It's the running back versus the linebacker. One-on-one. Everybody else is accounted for. You got to make that play in the hole if you're number 20. But nice job by Imani Bailey just wearing on this defense, finding a way to get through the offensive line, get to the second level. And when you're on the second level, you have got to turn into points. He does a nice job there.
Quickest touchdown of the day, 93 seconds of game time, 5 plays, 64 yards, and it is a lead of 17 now for the Horned Frogs. Boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden the numbers look pretty darn good for Imani Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, you can't abandon the run game, especially because Imani Bailey has been so good, and you knew coming into the second half they would lean on him just a bit more, and they have, and he's responded masterfully.
I'll talk about masterfully. It has been a masterful performance in the third quarter from soup to nuts for TCU, offense and defense. They've had the ball 3 times. They've put up 13 points. And defensively, they've put a goose egg up on the board for SMU.
Eric, for all the fans at home who are, my age and maybe younger, could you explain the soup to nuts? Because you explained to me, I still don't get it.
It's a good meal. You start your meal with soup, you end it with nuts.
Okay, soup to nuts.
Full meal. It's whatever you'd want.
Oh, so nuts is basically the dessert kind of.
Dessert, yes.
Why would you eat nuts for a dessert?
Yeah, it's an olden days thing.
Okay. In the olden days,
they didn't do that in Inkster, huh?
They didn't have any ice cream.
No. Soup to nuts.
There you go. All my millennials out there, we got a new thing. From soup to nuts, they've done a great job.
Look at these numbers. Total yards, TCU in the third quarter, just the third quarter. 191 yards, SMU 39.
Yeah.
Radical difference.
They've had complete control of this game, and obviously they do not want to settle for field goals in those 2 red zone opportunities that they just seamlessly drove down the field to get to. But they finished it off on that last one. They have had complete control of this game in the second half, both offensively and defensively.
Ball's been knocked off the tee twice.
A little windy.
And it's the same result. Touchback. Well, TCU's defense.
I mean, they've been all over the field, making plays from the backside, front side, around the back, 4th down, 3rd down, great play there. I just think that they came out of halftime and they had a beat on what SMU was trying to do on offense, and they've shored up everything. Now, SMU did a bit of a favor in that first drive, coming out and throwing 3 straight passes after rushing the ball so effectively in the first half, but these numbers are staggering. And for TCU, it's because they've had the ball so much that 9 minutes, right? Because they're going fast. They're not keeping the ball for a long time. They're driving the ball down the field pretty quickly, but they've had it so many more times.
Over the last 11 quarters, the TCU defense has only given up 1 touchdown, 1 offensive touchdown. That's R.J. Maryland with the grab. Tackled by Abe Kamara. Final minute 40 of our third quarter. Still plenty of time for SMU, but you'd imagine this drive would be relatively important. Stone. And that's going to be a catch. Very patient. Catch is made by Moochie Dixon.
Nice job by Dixon working back to the ball. You've seen this a number of times, and nice job getting both feet in, almost 3 feet in there to make sure there's no question. He does a nice job of working with his quarterback. Preston Stone creates, and then Moochie Dixon finds a way to get back to him.
Blitz is picked up. Stone to his left. Throws it away.
Nice job, nice job. I love that from Preston Stone, a guy who hasn't had a whole bunch of reps, a whole bunch of opportunity, and a guy who at this point in the game can start to press, right? He can start to try to make things happen that aren't there, right? He tries to extend the play like he always does. He gets outside, he sees it's done, he chucks it out of bounds because he's outside the tackle box.
Second down at 10, Wheaton. Short gain. And there is a flag down.
Holding. Offense number 14. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Nolan Matthews-Harris, a tight end, called for that hold.
Yeah, he was engaged with Nnamdi Obiazor right there. He's going to take him right to the ground. I don't love the call. I don't love it. I think that Obiazor is already trying to make the tackle when he's falling down, and you're kind of ushering him to the ground. I don't think he's actually grabbing him and pulling him down, but still, that's a big penalty for a team that desperately needs to continue to put drives together and pick up first downs, but 2nd and 20.
Third penalty for SMU, 4 penalties enforced for TCU.
Big screen down here.
Stone drives it middle of the field, incomplete. Closing on it was Obiazor.
Obiazor draws the holding penalty on the previous play, and then he makes this amazing diving catch in front of the very tight end that held him on the previous play. Outstanding. The only thing he could have done better is make the catch.
So he's got a sack and a pass broken up.
Yeah.
That's kind of the holy grail right there for a linebacker.
And to be honest, drawing that holding penalty, that's even better than a sack, right? Because the sack could be less than 10 yards. You get 10 for sure with the holding.
3rd and 20. Mustangs dreaming right here. They need something. Stone picked off. Josh Newton's got the football. Newton's still on his feet. Newton, can he? Will he? Out of bounds at the 10. Oh, an electric run back for Josh Newton, and now TCU is all set up. He just put a fresh coat of grease on that iron skillet. Looking real good right now. TCU leads by 17, 4th quarter. Start of our 4th quarter, and Josh Newton has delivered big-time momentum to TCU.
Absolutely. On this last play, and they're in a man-to-man defense, right? And so at the start of this play, he misses his jam, and he gets behind. There's a lot of space there, but now it creates the angle because it's going to be a dig coming here, and he's going to come underneath and cut off the angle and make the play on this ball. Absolutely textbook on how to make sure you catch up. I'm just telling you, Newton has been waiting for an opportunity like this. He's one of the top cornerbacks in all of the country, but he just hasn't gotten opportunities to get the hands on the ball. He has his opportunity there. He makes the play and a big return.
You see that attempted tackle by R.J. Maryland? I don't think his dad taught him how to tackle like that. R.J.'s dad, Russell Maryland, won the Outland Award Best Defensive Lineman at University of Miami. That was not a picture-perfect tackle when he fanned trying to get Newton to the ground. On 1st down, little inside run for the receiver, Savion Williams. We haven't talked about Savion at all today.
We have not.
Oh my God, look at all the guys who have ran the ball and caught the ball. That's the first touch for Savion Williams.
Yeah, he's been out there, but he just hasn't been targeted or used in any way.
Well, first 3 weeks of the season, turnovers have been a problem for TCU in the red zone, and that should have been a turnover.
Yeah, Wiley was just not ready to receive the ball. If Morris just waits one more beat, he can loft that ball right up to the big fella, but he tries to throw it underneath, and I'm just telling you, Jonathan McGill could have changed the game in a big way there. He's not able to make the play.
So it's 3rd down. I mean, the lead is 17. A field goal makes it 20. Touchdown be big here.
Trey Sanders lines up outside to get a beat on what the coverage is. It's going to be zone.
Caught. Curtis to the 6. That'll do it. Blake Knoll Blake Knoll with 3 catches now, but the field goal unit will come on. Wacobia slow to get up.
I mean, as much as this SMU defense has kind of gotten torched here in the second half by TCU, once they get down the red zone, they've been relatively stout, excluding the touchdown drive one drive ago.
So a 25-yard attempt. Griffin Kell made 2 field goals in the third quarter. Oh, they fake it. Sandy's got it. Was his knee on the ground? And a whistle blows. This one's over.
The ruling on the field if the runner's knee was down. First down.
Sandy caught it with his knee on the ground. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. They try to fake it, and I don't know what, but there's kind of like a banana peel. He just kind of flips and trips over himself, and once that knee's done, unlike the NFL, the play is over. He tries to still give it a go. What happened there, Sandy?
Oh, my goodness.
Man, he just completely loses his footing. The right foot, I mean, he's just not used to running around and doing a whole bunch, I guess. You know, he does a great job holding, but he lost out on an opportunity there. But I don't think it would have been there anyway. SMU did a very nice job of covering, and as you can see, when he did eventually get a chance to throw the ball, they intercepted it. So SMU gets a chance to get on the move, and they're still in this game, but they have to find something and put a drive together.
Maybe that move is legal in Australian rules football. Jordy Sandy is Australian, by the way. Oh, Russell Maryland Jr. makes the play. R.J. Maryland with a nice contested grab up the middle of the field. That's how you start your drive.
It's an outstanding start to the drive there. It's just the regular old RPO. And you're going to get him here right down the seam.
Now all of a sudden, this drive is almost mandatory for SMU. Got to get something going. Stone wants a bunch left side, has a man caught. Big play, Jordan Curley. Biggest of the day for SMU.
What patience at the line of scrimmage by Jordan Curley. I mean, he moves them, stacks them, and leaves that space on the sideline for Preston Stone to drop it in the bucket. I mean, that is textbook on how you run and throw a go route.
52 yards to the 17. Down to the 14, still on his feet is Wheaton. And he's brought down at the 15. Kamar Wheaton runs hard.
Yes, he does. He's just lost his footing a few times today where the turf monster, well, in this case, the grass monster, has kind of really been the reason why he's gone to the ground there.
Jalen Knighton replaces Wheaton. Stone, little fade. Almost intercepted. Oh, the man goes down holding his, that is Avery Helm. Went from almost getting an interception to grabbing his right leg.
It's just a fade route here, and you're going to see he's going to roll his ankle as he tries to flip his hips, right? He's going to try to flip his hips, turn there, and that ankle just gets stuck in the grass, and he feels it right away. And that's really essentially why he didn't make the interception, because he's in perfect position. And a lot of fans for SMU are going to say pass interference. Well, I think that was a good no call because they're both fighting for the ball, and we'll be back. We will not be back. We'll be right here.
That's right.
Because we're not going to break.
So we do have an injury timeout as Helm is being looked at. Helm is a junior from Missouri City, Texas. Started his college experience at Florida, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, you can see he has all the precautions, right? The ankle tape, you know, it's a thing that's for most players is mandatory at this level, and it's good to see him kind of walk that thing off. But if he doesn't roll his ankle, I think he intercepts that ball.
Well, if he intercepts that ball, it's almost game over for SMU. So we still got ourselves a ball game.
It's going to be a tough uphill climb if he were to intercept that one. It's already an uphill climb, but it would have been a lot tougher.
So once we get resituated, it's 3rd down and 7. SMU with the ball at the 15. are you immediately thinking 3rd and 7, we've got 2 plays to get the first down? Or if we don't get this first down here, we'll kick the field goal and get within 14?
I think that you do kick the field goal because you just haven't put together drives and gotten in a position to get points, right? And it depends really, truly on how much you get on this play here.
Blitz comes off the edge. It's picked up. Stone to the end zone. And that one's picked off. But Clark for the interception. Preston Stone playing with fire. He finally got burned. TCU ball up by 17 when we come back.
Welcome back. SMU just turned it over. He stems here, Jake Bailey does, but he needs to stem further and get vertical to really press and make sure you push this safety outside so you can have the outside leverage. He does it, and the outside leverage remains in TCU's favor, and he makes a play. Outstanding job by Bud Clark.
So now looking to bleed a little bit of clock. This is Bailey. He has gone over 100 yards in his ball game. That is a tough, tough run by a tough, tough man. After a sluggish first half, he has picked it up in the second half. Something happened at intermission, but he is a man in full. 113 yards now for Bailey on 22 carries. Quarterback keeper Morris didn't want to get popped. Slides to the floor in front of Charles Woods.
And even though it's the end of the game and you expect Morris to protect himself there, I love how he's protecting himself in the run game generally, right? In the beginning of the game when the game wasn't completely in his grasp.
There's a flag down.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense, number 51. 15-yard penalty, still first down.
That is Colton Deary. We mentioned when he came into the game. Doesn't start, but we knew he was going to play. The sophomore transfer from Big Ten country. He was a Maryland Terrapin. And what that does is it's going to give SMU a little bit of life because it's going to be hard to overcome this. A negative 15. So it's 1st and 25. Remember, really TCU just needs to keep not make any major mistakes, and it's Katie bar the door.
Yeah, that's a huge penalty.
You want to run the clock and let the clock move, but 1st and 25? That's a big penalty for Deary.
That's fucking bullshit, Nate! That's chicken shit, Nate!
Morris's pass. Oh, they get it right back. Wonderful football. Major Everhart. 1st and 25, and they pick up close to the 25 they needed.
It's a nice job by Everhart. The nicest time, he goes in and then comes back out. And a nice job of Morris standing in there and then taking a shot, driving that ball up the rail. And the design of some of these TCU plays, they're really spectacular. And they're getting these guys open, and Morris is finding them even with guys in his face.
Happiest guy in Fort Worth is going to be Colton Deary. That was a 20-yard gain. This is a no-yard gain. So it's now 3rd down and 5. TCU trying to keep the offense on the field. Trey Sanders with that carry, spelling Imani Bailey.
Take a look at Trey Sanders just run through. Punish, right? You don't have to be the nail. You can be the hammer on offense.
3rd down and 5. It's complete at the 49-yard line, right at the sticks. So it's a 1st down after 1st and 25. Somehow TCU, they overcome.
Something tells me that TCU's comfortable in that situation with a quarterback like Chandler Morris. Obviously not something you want to get used to, but when you've got Chandler Morris and the way he's wheeling and dealing today, I just think that you're not completely desperate of opportunities just because he can make plays all over the field, and big plays are what this TCU offense does.
Remember in the first half they completed a 3rd and 14 on a touchdown drive. They had a 3rd and 13 that they eventually converted. This time it was a 1st and 25 that they eventually overcame. when you're never really too far behind the sticks, man, that makes your life easy if you're a play caller.
Yeah, and if you get every once in a while, you get behind, you got a talented guy to make a play and kind of get you out of the woodshed.
It's taken a while, but TCU has just jumped over SMU in total yards. It's all because of what they've done here in the second half. They now lead SMU by 42 total yards, and they lead on the scoreboard, which is the most important thing. A 17-point stiff arm. Trey Sanders in the backfield. And Sanders has got 12 yards. Well, TCU out of the Big 12. Played a conference game a week ago when they played Houston. That was Houston's first Big 12 game. Next year, of course, SMU moving to the ACC. Still can't get over the story with SMU. September 1st, it was announced that they're going to go to the ACC. Within 7 days, $100 million raised.
It's a decent amount.
Oh.
For you,
that's at least 2 game checks, right, Devin?
Oh, stop it.
Little scat back, Major Everett. Tackle. Chris Megginson. Second down. Gain of 4.
And it's amazing to watch how the tables have kind of turned here in the second half. And obviously, I think it started in the first half, towards the end of the first half. But this TCU offense has just been, I mean, not perfect, right? Because they had some opportunities in the red zone that they missed out on. But they have just chugged along.
Halfway through our fourth quarter. Again, just trying to keep the clock moving. Feeding Bailey. Tackled by Roberson.
And on this third down play, if there's any chance of SMU getting back in this game, they do still have their 3 timeouts. If there's any chance of getting back in this game, they have to get a stop here. They have to make sure they keep them not only away from the first down marker, but they have to even push them back a yard or 2, because we've seen that TCU is not afraid to go for it, and there's no reason for them to come into this situation to say not to go for it, right? So I would expect that they have to push them back on this play.
Blitz! Morris throws it away. That would have been the negative play you're talking about.
They almost got it. They brought the house. We haven't seen him blitz a whole bunch, but how about the poise of Morris, right? He has a guy beelining straight down the middle, and he just avoids him quickly. He even had enough time to maybe stand there and look down the field a little bit, but throws the ball outside.
So it's 4th down and 4. And
like I said, they're not afraid of going for it, right? That's why you had to push them back. Now you leave them at this 4th down and 4 area, and I'm just telling you, I trust the quarterback with arm and legs to get on the outside and make a play for 4 yards.
Play clock down to 4. They get it off. Morris wants a touchdown. And I thought there was a push. Yeah, I thought that Brandon Crosley got away with a push.
And look, he pushed him toward the football.
He did.
It's kind of odd.
But there's no laundry on the field. It is going to be a turnover on downs. SMU football when we come back. All smiles. Big crowd, another sellout TCU. They lead SMU 27-10 with the iron skillet on the line.
Choir director doing his job.
Last 3 possessions. Look at that for SMU. Good golly. Turned it over on downs and then pick.
It's been a tough go of it here in the second half. They just haven't been able to capture any of the things they were able to capitalize on in that first half. And I think a lot of credit has to go to Coach Gillespie and that TCU defense.
Stone. This worked a moment ago. Doesn't work this time. Got a deep ball last possession to Jordan Curley. This time looking for Keyshawn Smith, that it's incomplete. Yeah, Rhett Lashley. Joey talking to him earlier this week. understands how important this rivalry game is. Actually, not going to play this in a couple of years. The rivalry has not been extended past 2025. Both schools will be in Power 5 conferences. Of course, SMU to the ACC. And get the Big 12 with TCU.
Yeah, Dallas-Fort Worth area is up for grabs, right? That's where they recruit.
Get
it's so
players
funny. People, did we hear this on the call? One of the coaches said this, that people from Dallas and Fort Worth said there's nothing. We have nothing. There's nothing like. We're nothing alike.
We share.
We just share airport. That's it.
Yeah, but there's plenty of players from both sides, no doubt about it. But I'd imagine if you're TCU and all of a sudden you're recruiting against an SMU that's got an ACC carrot to dangle in front of these kids.
Of course.
You know?
I think it's important, those head-to-head matchups, right? You know, because everybody loves little bragging rights, especially since the quarrel between Dallas and Fort Worth is already there.
And Texas is one of those rare places in the world where you don't need to go outside your borders. It's big enough players. You can get a player every once in a while from Florida if you really need to, but you can win championships with just what's inside those state lines. Coming off the edge, Channing Canada makes the play.
Man, Coach Gillespie, the defensive coordinator for TCU, is just dialing it up right now. And this is how you do it. You do not call the dogs off, right? You continue to play football the way you've played football. He sends Canada off the edge, screaming. He does a nice job of clipping the heel of Preston Stone.
Loss of 5. That's now 4 sacks. No, 2 sacks. Now 2 sacks for TCU.
Oof.
Nice play.
What a catch.
R.J. Maryland. First down on a 2nd and 15.
He was so good at the top of the route and really created some space for Preston Stone to get that ball in there. We just haven't seen that a whole bunch, but he does a nice job of being crafty at the top of his route, eyes inside, sticking that right foot in the ground and then breaking to the corner.
You know, something that people don't talk about, but it's changed in college football the last 10, 15 years, is the way guys catch the ball now. They know what's a catch and what's not, and they make a point of not having anything that's even close to hitting the ground or making sure their arms are underneath it at all times.
Of course.
Staying in bounds and paying the price for it was Moochie Dixon. Got absolutely hammered. Mason White.
My goodness, he was not coming in gingerly, I would say. He came to lower the boom. It's a corner doing that, right? You don't usually see corners run up like that.
But his name's Mason. He's got a lot of stone in him. Under 4 minutes to play. Line drive pass, back shoulder. Incomplete. Romello Brinson. Now SMU, Roderick Daniels, the intended target. SMU's only loss this year coming against a Power 5 team. That was on the road in Norman against Oklahoma. No shame in that, no doubt about that. But now up against it here against the Big 12's TCU Horned Frogs. Wheaton to the 22.
Man, Nnamdi Obiazor has been everywhere. Pass breakups, forcing holding calls, sacks, and then when you think you got an opportunity and you're Kamar Wheaton going through the line of scrimmage, he comes from the other side of the formation and makes a hit on you as well.
From Eden Prairie, Minnesota, suburban Minneapolis. 3rd and 4. SMU let a lot of clock expire. Stone can run for it. Oh, he decided to go horizontal instead of vertical, and it's going to mean it's 4th down.
Eric, he saw 250 pounds running 22 miles per hour is why he went horizontal. I would have gone horizontal as well. Shad Banks Jr., who's in for the injured Johnny Hodges, they said this guy has great speed at 250 pounds to run 22 miles per hour. That's insane. He returns kicks for this team. I'm just telling you, he's the only linebacker in the country that's back deep returning kicks. And when he's running at you, you go lateral and you live to fight another down.
SMU, they've not converted a 4th down today. They're 0 for 2 on 4th downs. They need to get to the 18, and they do.
See?
Catch is made by Jake Bailey.
Live to fight another down.
Okay. 2:22 remaining, and now look at the clock continuing to move.
It's a long season, right? Preston Stone cannot be allowing Shad Banks Jr. to get a beeline from 15 yards away to take him out.
Stone lofts it into the end zone, and it's short of Smith. SMU next week, they're going to take on Charlotte, the 49ers.
Who's played good football this season. Maybe not winning the games, but as far as the competition with teams, remember, they were 14 against them. Yeah, they played some good football. But, you know, got to finish those deals. Good halves of football, maybe. Played good halves.
Look at Levine. Like a rolling ball of steak knives. Good golly, who wants to get in front of that? Tyler Levine, he hadn't played much today, but when he's get out there, he's flashed.
A rolling ball of steak knives would be very dangerous.
Levine, flags down. I think there's too many men on the field for SMU.
It's a nice job by SMU. They did not substitute, so when TCU's trying to run guys off to get new personnel in.
Legal substitution. More than 11 players on the field to snap. Defense.
Oh, it's the defense.
Yeah. Result of the play. It's a touchdown.
I saw that SMU was sending the guys off the field, but no, it's going to be a touchdown.
So SMU had their big package in, right? And you can see them trying to get off the field here. SMU had their big package in the play before, right? So they didn't have to substitute when they're going to their big package to try to get in the end zone on the goal line. And TCU tries to substitute to stop it, and touchdown.
So the second touchdown of the afternoon for SMU. And they're within 10. Maybe holding out hope for a miracle. Who knows? 1:47 remaining when we come back. Now the all-new Undisputed is here. Skip Bayless is back, and look at this. He's joined by NFL legends Richard Sherman, Michael Irvin, and Keyshawn Johnson. Undisputed weekdays at 9:30 Eastern, only on FS1. Since they talk about big topics, who's the better receiver, Keyshawn Johnson or Michael Irvin?
Oh, they're going to get into it at some point. You see it sprinkled in there a little bit. They're real, but when you're around people a long time, every day, it's going to come up at some point. And the question is going to be, who's the X? Right? The X receiver is always the guy, right? That's the guy that gets the single receiver side.
SMU goes for the onside kick, and
didn't go 10 yards.
Didn't go 10.
Yeah.
Well, that might have been. We'll take a timeout. 1:47 remaining. That was probably the last hope for SMU. Welcome back, everyone. Just 1:47 remaining in our game. SMU a touchdown, but then they just did not get the onside kick, so it's TCU ball. Take a look at our smoking player of the game, sponsored by Old Trapper. What's your beef? We're going to go with Chandler Morris.
Man, it seemed like the SMU defense didn't have any beef with Chandler Morris. He was outstanding today. Clean is what I would call it, right? Obviously he's had some turnover issues, and this team as a whole has had some, but he has done a very good job of protecting the ball today, using his legs when he has to, creating and running to throw, and then getting downfield to get first downs as well. He was very, very clean today.
Chandler Morris from Highland Park, Texas.
Big school, man.
Yeah, they didn't know a thing or two about developing a thrower.
Matt Stafford.
Clayton Kershaw.
And absolute teammates. On the baseball diamond.
I kind of think.
Ball start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. First down.
We should also mention, though, that a famous alumni from Highland Park High School is Doak Walker.
Yeah.
One of the greats to ever come out of SMU.
Yeah, I think one of those cool stories, Clayton Kershaw and Matt Stafford.
Kershaw was the center.
Maybe, but in baseball, the catcher was Stafford. Matt Stafford, yep. And the pitcher obviously was Kershaw.
Yep. No doubt about it.
I wonder, could Matthew Stafford pitch a little bit? Pretty sure.
Big arm.
Big arm.
Coming up next, BMW Ultimate Update. Mike Hill, Emmanuel Acho, Chris Peterson. All good stuff. Massive day.
Man, getting a chance to spend time with Chris Peterson, man, it's such a luxury and an opportunity, man. Every time I get a chance, you just learn so much football, right? To have a coach on that show that has seen so much, has done such a great job. I'm just surprised. He just doesn't want to coach anymore because there's no way somebody's not clamoring for his services. He's done such a good job on Fox.
Pete's poison.
I love Pete's his pet peeves. He does his pet peeves. I don't know if he still does it, but last year he used to do it. It was pretty funny.
A dirty little secret. Timeout called by SMU. Dirty little secret as announcers. We get a chance to talk to these head coaches and offensive coordinators. I used to absolutely look forward to doing a Boise State game and getting a chance to be in Coach Pete's office and talk ball with him.
Yeah.
Great guy.
He's such a teacher too. Such a teacher and a learner. He actually goes and works with the Elite 11 quarterbacks, the guys that make it to the finals. So I got a chance to spend time with him there, and obviously the Fox seminar, we were all there. But he is a football savant, I would call it.
So SMU calls the timeout. They still have 2 remaining. This is what's next Big 12-wise for Sonny Dykes and TCU. They've got a game next week. Am I doing my math right? Is that next week? West Virginia.
Am I doing all right?
And then Iowa State. Always seems funky. I'm still having a hard time. Okay, BYU's out of the Big 12.
Of course. Just throwing you for a loop there. But TCU's got a real chance, man. Obviously, a big upset in the championship game a year ago. I mean, they were tired, right? They were just so many close games. But this year, I think that with Chandler Morris and playing the way he's been able to play, he needs to get down here. You do not want that.
3rd down and 4. They didn't get it. And Morris pays the price late in the game, up by 10. So it's going to bring up 4th down and 1.
Yeah, your clock's got to go. You know, with this, so many stoppages here, somebody's coming from that backside, and you can see there, man, they were coming with a vengeance.
Second charge timeout. SMU. 30 seconds.
All right, so the timeout for SMU, and I'm thinking you go for it if you're TCU, right?
No, I will punt it away. I'll punt them back deep.
Well, they're in field goal range, right?
Oh, okay, yes, they would. That'd be a long field goal. I will punt it. I'll punt the ball and allow them to drive the ball 99-98 for that one score that they have to get. Because you try a long field goal, could it get blocked? Could it be short and maybe returned, and all those different scenarios? I personally would punt the ball away and force this team in SMU, this offense that hasn't proven that they can really put drives together. I will force them to try to do that.
Well, I'm going to beg to differ, and this is just me. I didn't play like you. I'd go for it.
Well, yeah, that's always an option, but, I mean, they've done a good job of going for it. Is what we know, and Imani Bailey has been outstanding. It looked like they can go into a wildcat situation and allow him to pick up an extra blocker and just use his strength to get 2 yards.
Chase Curtis, the tight end, just motioned to the sideline. We need someone who can throw the ball. And that's when Chandler Morris came in. They had everyone in the huddle except for the quarterback.
Like they were going to do wildcat. I'm like, wait, and the quarterback's not even there.
How do we do this without a quarterback?
Yeah.
And now a timeout by TCU as the play clock was winding down. There's some confusion. I don't think Morris thought that they were going to go for it.
Yeah, he's on my side. He's saying punt this ball away and back him up deep. Maybe they have kind of a quick kick, right? You know, the quarterback always has that opportunity to step back an extra couple yards and kick the ball away. I mean, Morris has done everything else. I'm sure he can kick as well.
Silly question. You were a quarterback in Michigan. Did you ever do that pooch kick?
I never pooch kicked it, but my claim to fame, we talked about claim to fames in the break. My claim to fame is in high school, I made an extra point in a scrimmage.
1 extra point? You're crowing about that?
Hey.
You kicked an extra point?
Yeah, I made it.
Those are from 15 yards or something? All right. Well, you're.
Can you make an extra point, Eric?
I don't know. Didn't see that hard.
All right. We're going to get some video footage for you guys.
4th down and 2. They're going to go for it. And they got it. This is going to ice it. Curtis, touchdown, TCU. Chase Curtis said, we need a quarterback in here because I want to go the distance.
Absolutely.
This is my play.
He knew exactly what was going to happen, and he said, we better get a quarterback out here to make the play. A nice job. He's on the right side of your screen there, just blocking, short yardage play, and Rodgers is in no man's land. He's trying to commit to stop the run, knowing that this bigger tight end is going to try to block me, and then he sneaks up the rail and a touchdown pass for Chandler Morris.
So an extra point away from doubling their pleasure.
I knew it had to be something. It had to be something why he was so adamant about getting the quarterback out there.
Didn't look like that was difficult of an extra point there for Griffin Kill. Just kind of barely touched it and good straight through.
I said, can you? Not a professional kicker.
If that's your claim to fame, when you played like professional handball over in Bulgaria, that's more cooler than kicking an extra point in a high school scrimmage.
I want you to try to kick an extra point and see how difficult it is. Kicking is not easy.
If you had a square toe and you just straight on, that's impressive to me. But you probably went soccer style.
But I'm not a soccer player. It's impressive.
Okay. All right.
Also kicked the 35-yarder, but not in the game. And not in the game. I have video footage of that.
Okay. Well, next week. Stay tuned, folks.
Stay tuned.
So 1:18 remaining in our game, and TCU looks like they're going to keep that iron skillet. The iron skillet, basically over the last 2 decades, has resided in Fort Worth. Most recent times that it didn't, SMU winning with Sonny Dykes as their head coach. So he seems to have this iron skillet on lockdown.
Yeah. He's cooking.
That's right.
That was good. Yeah.
If anyone's looking for some scrambled eggs, you got to go to Sonny Dykes' house. He's got the skillet.
He does.
And he's not giving it up anytime soon, apparently. Cast iron, man. It holds the heat.
It's a very great invention.
Bouncing ball picked up at the 7-yard line. And this is Keyshawn Smith. And let's see how aggressive SMU will be with 1:11 remaining in our game. Finishing off some numbers on TCU and the offense that they had. Chandler Morris passed to 11 different receivers in the game. And that's not new. Virtually every week, everyone is involved in the passing game. 23 for 32, 261 yards, and the 3 touchdowns, and no turnovers. That's the undoing of Preston Stone, who threw 2 second-half interceptions. And Stone goes down. He was in the field of play, so it's not a safety.
The runner's full progress will stop at the 1-yard line. Second down.
It's a nice job of running a nice twist, a nice game, and defensive coordinator Coach Gillespie has his guys still playing hard. Nice job there by Dominic Williams getting to the quarterback, but like you said, the forward progress is stopped at the 1-yard line, so that extra turn and toss into the end zone.
Now, TCU, 30 seconds.
I actually don't necessarily agree with that call.
Yeah, I don't like it because you saw Stone was kind of fighting and kind of got away just a little bit, and then kind of, I think, should restart the forward progress, right? Right here, forward progress stopped, right?
To me, that's a safety.
Yeah, feels like a safety to me, but I guess not.
That's all window dressing. It's a 17-point lead right now.
And he's a dancing machine, Dominic Williams is. He's been dancing ever since he got the sack. Look at that big guy.
That's how they do it in Torrance, California. That's where he's from, you know. Big Dominic Williams, sophomore from Torrance, California.
Yeah, look at this, though. The sacks through 4 games in 21 and 22 just didn't get after the quarterback nearly as much as they should. This year, 16. And coming into today, they were 5th in the country.
Tyler Levine gets it to the 5. And that may be the final play of our game. Depends on what SMU wants to do.
He's done dancing. He's out of gas.
Congratulations, TCU. They're going to move to 3-1. 3 consecutive wins after that week 1 loss against Colorado. For SMU, it's going to be back to the drawing board. They're going to be 2 up and 2 down. And they will start American Athletic Conference play next week against Charlotte. And that'll do it. This one is in the books. The 102nd running of this great rivalry with the iron skillet on the line. And it is a win for TCU. 34-17 is your final score. For my partner, Devin Gardner, I'm Eric Collins. Now we'll get you back to Los Angeles for the BMW Ultimate Update with Mike, Emmanuel, and Chris Peterson.
All right, fellas, our FS1 coverage continues. Big 12 opener for these two teams. Iowa State, that's Rocco Beck, coming off of career highs in both passing and rushing yards. But Iowa State, big upset loss last week. So was Oklahoma State, I should say, as both teams open up